I'm Doug Brown. Doubleheader starting at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. Knicks and Heat in Miami. The Heat lead the series 3-2. Then Game 6 in Los Angeles for the Lakers and Warriors. The Lakers lead 3-2. Warriors guard Andrew Wiggins questionable with a rib cartilage fracture. Anthony Davis expected to play for the Lakers. ESPN's Nick Friedel.
I would expect them to try and get him the ball and allow him to find his rhythm early on, because if he sets that tone, guys, if he's going to the basket and he's knocking things down early, then I think that this could be the Lakers' moment.
Nick Friedel on Fitz and Harry. We'll also have the Lakers-Warriors game here on ESPN Radio starting at 9:30 Eastern. Astros second baseman Jose Altuve starts a AAA rehab assignment tonight. He hasn't played this season since breaking his right thumb at the WBC. Penn guard Jordan Dingle, the Ivy League Player of the Year, will transfer to St. John's, the 9th transfer for new Red Storm coach Rick Pitino.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit. Let's go! Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings.
This is the Sportsocracy on a Friday afternoon. It's a football Friday.
Schedule release Friday.
Here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. It may be raining outside, but we got nothing but smiles and sunshine here. Well, and this bright light that's in my face.
Well, here's the thing. You're the hardest person to light up on the planet Earth because, like Casper the Friendly Ghost, you run away when you see light.
Very true, and I refuse not to wear my baseball cap.
Yes, and frankly, we appreciate that.
Nobody wants to see that.
I've seen you without it, and you got this point. Mm-hmm. Like your hand, you have the only, it's like toilet paper. It comes to a point, and I don't really get that. So we deal with it, and you deal with the light.
Indeed.
So, sorry about your luck.
It is a football Friday. Jeremy's celebrating because of his,
No.
Go ahead.
2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
Wrapping up the series last night with the Phoenix Suns, 4-2. Moving on to the Western Conference Finals. Well, they await the winner of the series between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors,
who they are going to smoke like a honey ham. If you win one game, you should consider yourself lucky because Nikola Jokic is taking the league by storm.
But if they don't?
Well, here's the thing. If you add both of those teams together, they still don't have a guy that can stop Nikola Jokic, so I think I'm going to be just fine.
Nuggets winning by 25 last night over the Phoenix Suns in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals. The Boston Celtics forcing a Game 7 against the Philadelphia 76ers as, they took
That was less impressive.
They took care of business.
Yeah, Philadelphia... Yikes. And now...
Wait. Who's their coach?
Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Not my fault. I didn't shoot 4-17.
Sorry. At some point, Doc, we got to blame you because all your teams are right there to win championships, and then...
I didn't shoot 4-17. I was just sitting on the bench watching it.
Go get your larynx fixed. The NBA playoffs roll on. We got 2 games tonight in the NBA games,
and we'll pick those later.
Them.
And we'll pick those later. Yep. Give the NBA its 3 minutes. It's a football Friday.
It is a football Friday as the NFL schedule was released last night in full.
And so my thought is that we just go division by division.
Sure. Jeremy and I have played that fun game where we went through the entire schedule, gut reactions week by week. You don't go team by team. You just go week by week, right off the tip. What do you think? Who do you think's going to win these games?
And we're a Panthers affiliate, so I say we start with the NFC South.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you one sweeping declaration that I have about the NFC. It sucks. Holy good Lord, the NFC is awful.
Outside of a couple of teams, yeah.
A couple's a weird way to say Philadelphia. I look at the rest of them and go, you're going to be lucky to win 10 games, and I don't care who you're talking about. Your beloved San Francisco 49ers
Absolutely,
included.
they're one of them.
I have 4 teams in the NFC with double-digit wins, and it was hard to get there. And not nary a one of them comes out of the NFC South.
Yeah, I have 5 double-digit winners in the NFC. None of them coming from the NFC South. Jeremy and I went through these, and we're pretty on point for the most part.
We agree with a lot of things.
I think we had 2 playoff teams that were different, one in the NFC, one in the AFC. But for the most part, I mean, NFC, we were almost lockstep by record and seeding.
So 2 things to get to before we get into the NFC South. First of all, we have our first one of these of the day.
I'm your huckleberry.
It's from our buddy Curtis Davis, who said, I know you guys aren't anime fans, but the Chargers once again killed the release. I agree with you. And if you are, first, respect. Second, I know you agree. And lastly, go Chargers, go! I agree. There were some really cool schedule releases, and I agree with Sloan Jordan that the Jaguars did just a fine job with it. Now, the second thing is our buddy Notorious B.I.G. that said Jeremy's hatred for the Saints isn't even a secret anymore. Well, it's funny you said that because one of us at this table has the Saints winning the division and one of us doesn't. And it's the one that you just accused of hating your team that has you winning the division. That's me. Hi. I have the Saints going 9-8 and win this division.
I have the Saints also winning the division.
Do you?
I do.
Oh, I didn't think you did.
I do.
For some reason, I thought you had gone full
But
homer
it's
and you
very
had
close.
the.
It's very close
It's close for me too.
in the NFC South.
The only team in that division that I can't see winning it is your lowly Tampa Bay Buccaneers because they are bad.
I honestly, I can't see them winning it, and I can't see Atlanta winning it.
Atlanta finished second in the division for me.
Not for me. Not for me. But in the NFC South, the winner of the division, to me, is the New Orleans Saints. But by just a smidge over the Carolina Panthers.
So I have the Saints at 9-8, the Falcons and the Panthers at 8-9, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 4-13. And it was hard to get there. You won 2 games that I really don't think you will.
You had I had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3-14 because I don't want them to be good. Second, I don't think they're going to be good.
So
and yes, they have a quote unquote easy schedule, but they also have quote unquote no quarterback.
Well, and the thing about the NFC South is that you all have an easy schedule because you play each other 6 times. And to the accusation of my hatred of the Saints, or the statement of fact, as it was later said, it's not that I hate the Saints. I hate your coach with an undying passion. If you had any other coach in the NFL, I think you'd dog walk this division. But you don't, and I've seen him do this enough times and take good talent and make it wildly average. I like this roster. Mm-hmm. And if your receivers stay healthy, to me, the Saints are clearly the best team in this division. Do you agree with that?
Not clearly.
Okay.
I mean, on paper, yes. When it plays out, I don't think it's going to be clear.
And I think it's probably going to become more clear than we're even saying. Because as I went down the rabbit hole and I realized there's one thing with Atlanta that I can't get over. You do not play a game the entire year where you play a quarterback that's even on the same level as yours. Baker, and I guess that's close. Mm-hmm. I've at least seen him be an average to good quarterback in this league. I don't think Desmond Ridder belongs in the league, let alone starting for a team. Now, I think you're going to run really, really well. And as I go down it and I look at this Falcons schedule, you play a lot of teams that are not great against the run. Green Bay wasn't great against the run last year, and you really didn't do much to fix that this year. The Lions. And that's how you start. So I actually have Atlanta early on starting reasonably hot. and then it kind of fades because you hit this stretch of the schedule where you start playing a lot of. You get to that side of the schedule where you get the Saints, and you do it twice in 7 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can stop you running, and they have Derek Carr, best quarterback in this division, and for me, that's where it kind of separates.
I don't have a clear division on their season. I have them just winning a smattering of games here and there. They end up 8-9. It's pedestrian. If you had a quarterback, I would be so much more interested.
The Falcons start 4-2 for me, and then go 4-7 the rest of the year. Because you do start coming up against the Jets and the Saints twice and the Bucks.
I'm surprised you haven't beaten the Commanders. As high as you are on the Commanders.
I'm after doing this, I'm not as high on the Commanders as I thought I was.
Okay. All right. Well, I feel like that's some progress then.
Well, I mean, that's the great thing about this procedure. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through this, and then you look at what you've done, and it kind of cuts through it. Now, Carolina, it's going to be a bumpy start.
Yes.
I don't know how you had it going, but they're 2-4 for me going into the bye.
Going into the bye, I have them at 0-6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, 0-6. And then you finish the season on a 9-1 run because that schedule gets real easy.
It does.
Or 9-2, I think is what I had. I had them losing to the Dallas Cowboys, and I had them losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They win 4 of their last 6 for me. And that's enough to tie them for a wild card spot. They lose the tiebreaker to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Atlanta is my 7th wild card, or is my 7th playoff team.
The first 6 games, you get pretty battered. You go through, and I don't mean like injury-wise. I just mean, these are the growing pains.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to figure out the offense. Bryce is getting involved. He's getting used to the NFL speed of the game kind of thing. A bye week comes, and then I think you can put it together after that.
And that's kind of where I'm at. I don't feel like the NFL did you – I will say they didn't do you a lot of favors by making you play the Dolphins, Lions, Seahawks, and Saints in those first 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even say the Vikings. That game's in your building. That's one of the games I have you winning.
I do not. I got them losing all the first of all 6 of those games, and then you pick it up after that.
We have 2 more of these.
I'm your huckleberry.
First one's from our buddy Stephen Tao, and I told him this earlier on today. Heads up, Jeremy's going to hurt some feelings today. That's true. But here's the thing. Today, some friends will become enemies, but some enemies will become friends. And there's one team that has historically really hated me, and I'm going to say way more nice about you than you would have ever thought.
Mm-hmm.
And your mascot may have something in common with Yogi. Little teaser there. The other one comes from not cousin Colin Greene.
I'm your huckleberry.
No team on the Saints schedule has a better roster than us top to bottom. I agree with you. Jeremy's right. DA is horrid. We could have won 13 games without him. I'm not sure you could have any other coach in the NFL, and I wouldn't have you winning double-digit games as the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure even Dennis Allen can screw this up. Because I'm looking at 2, basically the rest of the division. You got Baker Mayfield, who, to me, just fits in Tampa Bay like I would fit in a dress. And then you got a rookie quarterback that has an evil first 6 games of the season. There is a possibility that starts you on the wrong track, and then the bye doesn't put you back on track, and it never gets on track. I mean, I could see Carolina, based on this schedule, going 6-11, 7-10.
Possible.
Now, I think very highly of Frank Reich. I think very highly of this coaching staff, and this is one of the only teams I've ever seen where the early bye is beneficial. And so I think they do straighten the ship out. But I'm just looking at Derek Carr going, the worst I've ever seen of you is better than I think any of these other quarterbacks are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you take that with the defense, whatever you get out of Kamara, I don't know what that suspension is going to look like. And I'm not going to lie, I played that in a little bit here because New Orleans starts slow too. But I just keep coming to the point of with how this falls for New Orleans, I think you're going to win this division.
And I'll agree. I've got them at 9-8, winning a tiebreaker with the Carolina Panthers. And Panthers are a playoff team under my scenario. 9-8 gets you into the playoffs in the NFC.
For me, the Saints start 3-5 and then win 5 of the last 6. And I don't really – I examined this division because it's the only division in football where I do not have a double-digit win team. And so I really put a magnifying glass on it, and I kept coming back to the exact same thing. Carolina, Atlanta they're different shades of the same team. Not because they do things similarly. You just have a lot of question marks and not necessarily I don't think either of those teams have something that you can hang your hat on based on how the schedule was laid out. Now, I think by the end of the year, we're going to feel different about both of them. And going into next year, now this division's really interesting because your team will have
Caleb
a different
Williams.
quarterback. Well, you don't get Caleb Williams in my scenario. You have the 5th pick, which means Michael Penix Jr. or Quinn Ewers.
Who has the
or
number 1 pick?
Arizona.
Oh, so that team that we're going to trade up with.
Arizona has 1 and 3. I was close. I said they'd have 1 and 2, and I was real close. There's one team. We'll talk about them a little later in this hour. Shoe buddy. Not only are you bad, your schedule is mean.
I have a clump at the top of the NFC with 3 teams, and then far, far in the distance, it's those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 3-14 for me. I don't see how this is going to work.
I don't either.
You have some pieces, some talent on that team, but as long as the quarterback is Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask
or John
Wolford.
Don't forget John Wolford. Okay, the pride of Wake Forest.
I honestly don't care. You can flip a coin right now. I don't care who starts. They're bad. Bad, but bad. And, oh, by the way, Todd Bowles is their head coach.
Your schedule's not real nice either. Starting out in
Minnesota. It's not super hard, though. I mean, think about Tampa if they were the Baltimore Ravens or if they were a good team. This would be a schedule that you could win 11, 12 games. But
I have you starting 2-6. And that was giving you a win against the Bears. That the more I'm looking at it, I don't know that's how that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I got starting out 3-7 or 3-6 because of the bye weeks in week 5, and then losing every game from there on out.
I'm not sure that I don't feel more confident about this division than I do any other. Do you agree with that? I thought this was going to be the toughest one, and the more I went through, the more I went, no, this is how this is going to go.
I don't. I think my confidence level is a little bit higher on the NFC North for me.
Oh, that feels like a nice segue because I couldn't disagree with you more if I tried.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The schedule is out. It's time to make those picks. Agree with us or not, get into the chat on YouTube.
M-O-M. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Tired of getting dinged by monthly fees on your checking account? You need Simple Checking from Home Trust Bank. With Simple Checking, you get all the essential checking services for free, including 100% online access and a free Visa debit card. It's everything you need from a checking account, but no hoops, no surprises, no monthly fees. Stop by today or call 800-627-1632. Simple Checking at Home Trust. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Join your Asheville Symphony and world-renowned banjo player Bela Fleck on Saturday, May 20th for the Asheville Amadeus Festival finale at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. You'll hear Fleck's own Imposter Concerto for banjo, music from West Side Story, the iconic Jazzy Caravan, and more. Saturday, May 20th at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. Tickets at ashevillesymphony.org, at 828-254-7046, or at the Harrah's Cherokee Center Asheville box office.
Have your outdoors and running water too with Luxury Lou, the tasteful solution to portable bathroom rentals. Family owned and local, Luxury Lou Rental provides modern bathrooms on the go with running water, AC and heating, flushable toilets, and elegant designs. Luxury Lou's are perfect for weddings, corporate events, remodels, and more. Don't leave your well-dressed guests to use a dirty porta-potty john.
Ew!
Turn to Asheville natives. Luxury Lou. Visit LuxuryLousRental.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Ricardo, quote, "This is one of the greatest inventions ever. I know this may sound like I'm exaggerating, but this sucker is amazing. The first time I did it, I couldn't believe what came out of my sinuses. I could breathe with ease. My wife just bought one too. Thank you for this product," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 8 a.m. and 1400.
You're a little quicker on the trigger with that microphone, weren't you?
It's the Sportsocracy, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio. Low prices, love the savings. And so the NFL schedule comes out last night. Jeremy, we ended the last segment with you saying you feel more confident about your picks in the NFC South than any other division. I feel more confident about my picks in the NFC North than I do anything else. Because to me, it's a one-team race. At least by the end of the season.
I could not disagree with you more vehemently if I tried. The Lions' schedule is evil.
To start.
I don't think it's that great on the backside.
Okay.
I just the fact that the Lions are playing the Chiefs in the first game of the season, unequivocally, probably the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Why?
This team's not ready for that. In the history of these Thursday night openers, we've had two teams in history that ever played in the opener that didn't make the playoffs the year before. It was the Dallas Cowboys both times.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're going to break that up for the Lions? They will get eviscerated by the Chiefs. You're telling me this team's going to Kansas City with no Jamison Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely smoked like a deli meat.
Yep.
I won't be shocked if they get beat 42-14.
Yep.
It doesn't get much easier from there.
No. Second week, you got to take on the Seattle Seahawks. It's in your own building, but still.
You get two in a row that are at home, so you get the Seahawks and the Falcons. I would say you lose to the Seahawks, you beat the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting at 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have to go to Green Bay, which is no fun task.
I have you losing that game.
And that's all. Oh, you have them losing to Green Bay?
I have them losing to Green Bay.
Play the Panthers, which is in your stadium.
It's a win.
They killed you last year. I mean, killed you last year. And then you got two on the road at the Bucs, at the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
Little layoff with the Raiders. Then you have to go to the Chargers. I'm not so sure the Lions don't start something of the neighborhood of 3-5. And I'm just not sure that gets back on track. I said the worst thing that could happen to the Lions, they were one of the teams I was the most interested in, that I was the most interested in last night. Worst thing that can happen is that your schedule is ugly to start. It's ugly to start.
Mm-hmm.
It is ugly to start.
It is. But I want it to be. I want the hardest part of my schedule, just like we were talking last year. Remember when we thought there was a chance that the Arizona Cardinals were going to be good and they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 weeks of the season? Like, that's when I want my schedule to be tough. then I want to be able to rack up wins at the end of the season.
I'm not seeing the schedule as easy on the backside.
Okay. I mean, after their bye week, they play the Chargers,
the Ravens, the Raiders. After I was talking about after Jameson Williams came back.
No, after the bye week. I mean, okay, even then, go after Jameson Williams comes back. Okay, you got a tough one at the Baltimore Ravens. Then you play the Raiders, who I don't believe in. You're going to lose to the Chargers because it's on the road in Los Angeles. I don't have any faith that you're going to go in and win that game. And then you get home games with the Bears and the Packers. You go to the Saints, which will be a tough game.
4 of your last 6 are on the road.
Go to the Chicago Bears. You got the Denver Broncos, the Minnesota Vikings twice, and the Dallas Cowboys.
And Joseph Osteen in our
I don't see a lot of losses there.
Joseph Osteen in our YouTube comments, who is a Lions fan, said that's a bad take on the Lions. They're going to make me look foolish. I like your team. What I'm really curious of is, did Motor City Madman Dan Campbell stand up somebody in the scheduling office's daughter for a date? Because this schedule is awful. I would say it's top 5 worst draws in the league.
Okay.
You open with Kansas City, and you're going to get embarrassed in that game.
Yes,
and that's not a hot take.
Nope.
Historically, when that banner comes down, that reigning Super Bowl champion in that isolated spot, they make an example out of whoever they're playing. And every example you're about to say, well, but this one time it didn't happen, that's the exception that proves the rule, because there's 2 of those you can give me. Then you go, it's all clunky. And I don't see, when I get schedules like this, I want to see, what is your longest stretch where you don't play either a really good quarterback or a really good defense? The Lions do not have more than a 2-game stretch in the entire schedule. They get the Packers and the Bears back-to-back. But on the other side of that is a road game with the Chargers and a road game with the Saints. None of that is ideal. And now I'm going to say the thing that I can't believe this is about to come out of my mouth, and you're going to tell me I'm out of my mind. I'm not so sure the Chicago Bears don't win this division.
You're out of your mind.
I know it sounds
You're
crazy.
Absolutely crazy.
I know it sounds crazy.
Of course it does. That team is still terrible.
And I don't agree with you.
Okay.
And in their first 7 games, you do realize the Bears could be 6-1, right? You get that, right?
I mean, that's a long shot.
Okay, you tell
in
me.
my mind,
tell me who the losses are. Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love playing quarterback.
Nope.
That's a win. At your Buccaneers. By the way, your defense is slow as molasses. Justin Fields will crush you.
Yes, he will.
At the Chiefs, you'll lose that one.
You're gonna.
I don't disagree. I do not disagree with that. Then you go Broncos in your building,
which you could lose.
I don't see a path. The best thing of that defense is the 2 corners. That's it. That defense is slow as molasses. And then you play the Commanders. That's in Washington. That could be a loss.
I don't like that for you.
Okay, let's say Sam Howell starts slow. And he can't produce points, and Justin Fields, and it's another gross fest like the last time. Minnesota Vikings, another slow defense. The Raiders, you got a good front 3. Your linebackers are not good. So I'm just looking at a 7-game stretch here where, Justin Fields could get hot here. And all those Bears fans that have felt the urge to call me a big mulleted moron over the years, they could have a lot of traction in this. There could be a lot of traction with the Chicago Bears. I'm not telling you it's going to look great, and I'm not telling you it's a great team. The Bears got scheduling advantages here that I don't see from a lot of other teams. And the backside is comically bad. Their last 3 games are Cardinals, Falcons, at the Packers. Packers, who, by the way, might be 5-11 at that point. And I'm just looking at it going, this is every year there's a team that wins a division. And I'm going to say this in Greene on Greene later in this hour. When the public all goes one way, it would behoove you to go the other. I feel like we are crowning the Detroit Lions. And I cannot for the life of me figure out why. I like that team. It's a talented team. But this is not the layup that everybody else is making it out to be. And what I think what's getting to me is I've heard nothing but Jets gonna jet. And with that schedule, the Jets will be lucky to win 9 games. The New York Jets, or the Detroit Lions, make the New York Jets look like the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay? So if we're gonna go Jets going Jet, then I don't want to hear this coronation of the Detroit Lions. And so now I'm looking at the schedule going, yours is brutal, theirs is not. And I don't know what to do with the other two. I have absolutely nothing to do with, and no idea what to do with Green Bay and Minnesota.
Oh, I do. Throw the baby out with the bathwater. These teams are awful.
I agree.
I mean, the Minnesota Vikings, they're the second best team in this division. The Chicago Bears are last, and it's not close to me.
I think that's, of all the things that you've said to me so far, I think that's the thing that's going to make you look really foolish down the line.
Maybe so. Maybe this is my new Las Vegas Raiders. But I'm telling you,
it could be.
Oh, by the way, Raiders fans, stay tuned. You're going to want to hear what I have to say about the Las Vegas Raiders.
I have a funny feeling it's not going to be nice. We haven't talked about them yet. So
let's just say, I think the Chicago Bears are by far the worst team in the NFC North.
I don't.
I do.
Do you like Justin Fields?
And the Las Vegas Raiders are worse than them.
You like Justin Fields or Jordan Love better?
I mean, it's Justin Fields.
I was about to say, the fact you're even thinking about this is bothering me.
I still don't know what to think of Jordan Love, and I don't like Justin Fields all that much, but obviously Justin Fields is the better athlete. He can give you more.
And that's the thing. I'm not telling you I love the Bears. I'm not saying that.
Of course.
I'm just saying you get big, long stretches where you go Bryce Young, Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff again. I don't see that with Green Bay.
Yeah, but there again, I mean, those aren't horrible quarterbacks. Those aren't Baker Mayfield.
No, but they're not. There aren't many Baker Mayfields in this league.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you only catch so many Colt McCoys, Baker Mayfield, Jordan Loves. There's only so many of those in this league. Then I turn around and look at Green Bay and go, yikes. They have a 2-month stretch where they may not win a game. May not win one single game. Starting with the Steelers, you go Steelers, Chargers, Lions, Chiefs, Giants, Bucks, at the Panthers, at the Vikings. You tell me where the wins are there. That's half of your schedule. I can't figure out who you beat.
How far did you go? You went Steelers to who?
Steelers to the Vikings.
Steelers to the Vikings.
And I'll be honest with you, I go to the Bears too.
I got 2 wins in there.
Okay, that's half your schedule and you got 2 wins. Mm-hmm. That means that team's not good.
No, they're not good.
The Bears will win more games this year than the Green Bay Packers. I'll wager it with anybody, anything you want, to a charity of our choosing. I'll take it from all comers because I know you're coming.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough flack from Packers fans about, the Jets will give up a 1. Man, you've got it right. So I know you're out there. Come on down. But you come at the King, you best not miss, and do not fail to believe that I will call you out if you disappear.
Ooh, maybe that should be a torture ticket.
And I'll take it right now. Anything you want. I've gone up and down these schedules. I cannot figure out a path that the Green Bay Packers win more than 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And now I will tell you that I have Detroit winning this division after I have said all of this.
Okay.
After I have said all of this.
I thought you were going all kooky Madookie when you said Chicago was going to win the division.
No, I said they could win the division.
They could win the division.
I have the Lions winning it, but it is way closer than people want to let on.
I agree with you. The Chicago Bears could win this division if all 3 teams just fold up and say, no, we're not playing. If the 3 other teams in this division just decided that they wanted to go whack surfboards collectively, then yes, the Chicago Bears could win this division.
I think you're undervaluing how much better that roster is.
I am.
I really do. I think you are undervaluing how much.
I look at them and I go, I don't see much of a difference. I don't see much of a difference between this year's Chicago Bears and last year's Chicago Bears.
Look at the 11 starters on defense, and if you tell me you don't see a difference there, I think you need to have your head examined. They played players on that, started guys, high level, 700, 800 snaps that should not be in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to do that this year. And they just don't play that many high level offenses. I'm not really all that scared.
Okay.
Justin Fields has shown he can produce points. It may be ugly. It may be clunky. But I'm not going to – I have the Bears going 8-9, and I'll be honest with you, I could see them going all the way up to 10-7.
Whew.
And I don't see it much below 8. And I can't figure out a path. The Vikings or the Packers win more than 6-7 games.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Packers at 5-12 and the Vikings at 7-10.
I have the Vikings at 7-10 as well.
Now that's the one team we haven't
6-11. And the Bears are way back there at 4-13.
And the Vikings are the one team we have not talked about here.
They're still okay. They're the same thing that they've been for a long time of you have playmakers, you're going to sling the ball, you're going to be able to score points, you're probably not going to be able to stop a lot of teams, high-powered teams, you're going to get killed. I just take into the account the one-score anomaly from last year. You're going to lose most of those games this year, and that's 7-10 to me.
Well, I mean, the start of their schedule is just awful. You start with Tampa in your place, so you should be 1-0.
Win.
Then you go at the Eagles, the Chargers, at the Panthers, Chiefs, at the Bears, the 49ers.
Mm-hmm.
I see a path that the Minnesota Vikings are 1-6 coming out of the 7th game of the season. I easily could see, and if that happens, this will fall apart fast.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have
1-6. They beat the Bucks and then lose to everybody else.
I could see them losing every other game on that schedule.
Interesting.
I don't think Minnesota's defense is any good at all, and I think you're undervaluing. I think you're undervaluing that. No, Justin Fields is not a good quarterback, but he's also really hard to game plan for.
Mm-hmm.
And now that he has actual weapons, as opposed to just every time he takes off, he runs. Well, now if you crash down on him, somebody's going to be open. And I've never said the kid can't hit a trash can from 25 yards away, because I think you're going to see a lot of that. That was probably my spiciest take of the schedule release, is the Chicago Bears. They have become my favorite over literally in the league. Because I think their win total is like 5.5. And I will crush the over.
Mm-hmm. I would not. I would take the under on that, but I'm not the gambling guy. Don't listen to me. Listen to Jeremy. He's the one that has the accounts that has the money in it.
It's true. and it tends to be a sizable amount.
It is the Sportocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Coming up next, we'll talk about the NFC West, where there's two teams we're talking about. There's two teams that probably should just stay home this year.
Correct.
We'll be back in the Ingles Studio next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit-and-miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon, evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Blue Ridge Health. At Blue Ridge Health, everyone deserves access to top-notch, compassionate health care, no matter their insurance or income status. Keep your family healthy with updated immunizations for COVID-19, flu, chickenpox, and shingles. Health care for all people, including you. Learn more at brchs.com.
Live life to the fullest. You hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain. QC Kinetics is in the business of giving people back their quality of life, providing relief for chronic joint pain in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. Painful knees, hips, shoulders, or back? QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. And best of all, you walk into the office and walk right out after treatment. No surgery, no downtime, and patients are raving about the results. Finally, being able to play golf, hike, walk your dog, enjoy time with your family. Don't wait one more day. Get started today with a call to QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 823-333-9517. That's 822-333-9517. In Asheville and Greenville, that's 822-333-9517. 822-333-9517.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene. It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. After the schedule gets released, we always have to do it. Go through week by week, pick the winners, and see what you come up with. Knee-jerk reactions, who's going to win all of these games, and so far, some disagreement. Not vehement disagreement other than the Chicago Bears.
We do have vehement disagreement there.
Yes.
I don't know that we ever gave records for the NFC North. So I had the Lions 10-7, Bears 8-9, Vikings 7-10, Packers 5-12.
Mm-hmm. I was 11-6 for the Detroit Lions, 7-10 for the Vikings, 6-11 for the Green Bay Packers, 4-13 for the lowly Chicago Bears.
All right, so we split the difference. We'll say the line is 6, and you and I have a torture ticket on the Chicago Bears.
Yes, under. I don't know what we're wagering.
Oh, I already know
here.
I already know my side of the wager. Oh, no doubt. You have to wear
the cowboy outfit.
Nope. You have to wear a bear costume.
A bear costume.
Yep. You have to wear a bear costume in downtown Asheville with a sign that says free hugs. You had a vehement disagreement to the cowboy costume. You didn't think that was going to go your way.
Didn't,
and I'm not going to lie, it wouldn't go your way, which is 100% why I wanted you to do it.
Because every time we talked about it, it got worse and worse and worse, and I kept losing articles of clothing doing it. And that is like one time it would be, he's a cowboy hat with a tie-dyed T-shirt, and then the next time it was a cowboy hat with keisterless chaps, and then the next no. We're not doing that. Bear costume? Okay. I can get down with that. Let's talk about the NFC West.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of vehement disagreement here.
No.
Here's my first question. Combined.
Mm-hmm.
How many games do you have the Rams and the Cardinals winning?
4.
It's less. I have them both 1-16. And their 2 wins are against each other.
Nice. Very nice.
I cannot find a team they are supposed to that they're supposed to beat.
Yeah, I don't know about supposed to beat, because no,
I'm not sure I can find a team that they can beat.
I look at these teams like we were prognosticating a couple of years ago between Houston and Jacksonville a couple of years ago. I remember we both had them at like 1-15.
Yes.
And that was how it happened. They won their home game against each other, and that was it.
Those two teams are awful.
I got the Rams a smidge better than the Cardinals, and the Cardinals winning a game after Kyler Murray comes back.
So for me, I have Arizona winless when Kyler Murray comes back. And I'm not sure that they don't just, it's fine. We'll ride it out. We'll have the number 1 pick in the draft. By that point, we've already been told he's not going to be back before November.
Mm-hmm.
Well, your season's over by then. And the Rams, you have 3 NFL-level players, and the rest of it is shoe buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And they may give up 40 points a week.
They're terrible. That for a team to go from Super Bowl champion to absolutely god-awful terrible in 2 years is damn near unheard of.
Yeah, you still like that falafel then picks? You remember? You remember when you said that?
Got that shiny little trophy out of the deal.
It's adorable, and you're going to be irrelevant for 10 years. Awesome. Because this is not hey, we get the number 1 pick and that fixes everything. Nope, that fixes 1 position. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm. So
Chad Reagan asked in the YouTube comments, if they have 0 wins, do you sit Kyler the whole year and keep his trade value? Absolutely. I'm telling you right now, if I'm the Cardinals, they're 0-8. There's no shot he touches the field for me. What if he gets hurt again in games that mean absolutely nothing?
Right.
I'm good. I'll just keep playing the young guys. This will be a blip year, and we'll tell Jonathan Gannon, okay, you just keep losing. It's fine. We won't hold this one against you.
Right. We want to build this through the draft, which is weird because that's how you got in this situation, was not building through the draft.
Correct.
But anyhow,
Joseph Ostin in the YouTube comments, he's keeping I think he's keeping a running tabulation of my spicy takes. 1 win for the Rams, Lions get killed in the opener, and the Bears will be good record-wise. Yep. All three of those things, and I feel pretty comfortable in everything you just said.
Now, the two teams at the top of the division, San Francisco 49ers, Seattle Seahawks, they're different stories because both of these teams are very good. They're both going to be very competitive. I have both of them in the playoffs, and I have San Francisco winning the division.
I have San Francisco winning the division at 12-5, and I think I'm too high.
I have them at 11-6. So, yes, I agree that you're too high.
I think I'm too high, and I have the Seahawks at 10-7.
As do I.
I can't get away from the Seahawks at 10. That's exactly – if I had one that I said, okay, you take the Vegas line. If it's under 10, you bet that. If it's over 10, you bet the under.
Mm-hmm. The Seahawks are an interesting team to me because they can be competitive with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody.
Mm-hmm.
They can play the Cincinnati Bengals, and that game is going to be super competitive all the way down to the end. I feel like they can also play the Los Angeles Rams, and that game's going to be super competitive all the way to the end. Like, I've just always felt that about Seattle.
My takeaway on Seattle is that you don't play more than 2 good teams in a row. There's one stretch of the schedule, and you go 49ers at the Cowboys, at the 49ers, Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
And that is ugly. That's as ugly as an NFC schedule can look.
And Seattle Seahawks fans, as I was going through the schedule, I used this playoff predictor app. You can find it on your web browser at next.playoffpredictors.com. And it'll go through every week of the schedule, and it'll keep track of all of the things for you week by week. And as I was going through and I got to that 4-game stretch that you're talking about, week 11, after they beat the Los Angeles Rams in my prognostications, they were 2 games ahead of the San Francisco 49ers in the West. And then you play that schedule of you got to play San Francisco twice, Dallas Cowboys on the road, Philly at home. That's not going to be pretty.
No.
And that's where they lost it. That's where they lost the division to me. So up until that 4-game stretch, I had them winning the division.
I did too.
But then you lose all 4 of those games, which I'm not saying obviously is not written in stone, but there's a pretty decent chance you can.
For me, the difference is the end of the season, after those 2 games between each other. The 49ers have pretty much, minus the Ravens, it's a very light schedule.
Mm-hmm.
They play 2 of those 1-win teams we were talking about, and then at the Commanders. And I'm not sure by that time the Commanders have nothing to play for. I'm not saying definitively they do, but there's certainly a possibility.
Mm-hmm. I
have San Francisco winning the last 5 games of the year.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around those who say that San Francisco doesn't have a quarterback. They're not going to be good either. I saw that in the chat earlier. What you fail to realize is this team has been in the playoffs despite the fact that they didn't have a quarterback. They were they were making a run last year until Brock Purdy got hurt. Now they were going to lose that game anyway to the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm not playing like they would have won had he been in that game. But still, this is a good team.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to get a lot of wins. Are they a Super Bowl contender to me? Not really. I mean,
how many Super Bowl contenders do you think there are in the NFC?
In the NFC?
Mm-hmm.
1.
I have 2.
Who's number 2? San Francisco?
No.
Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't get to Dallas because Dallas is going to have to beat Philadelphia in the playoffs, and I don't see that happening.
The thing with the NFC for me is that there is just a wart on every one of these teams. Every one of them has a wart. Seattle really doesn't. If I had to pick a third one, it would be Seattle. The thing I can't wrap my brain around, Super Bowl starter Geno Smith. I cannot get there. Now, no matter how good he was last year and how unbelievable of a job I think Pete Carroll has done with this team, I just can't get there. And I'm doing the same thing with Brock Purdy. You're telling me this little teeny guy is that's what's going to lead to the Super Bowl. I just don't buy it. I do not buy it.
I think San Francisco is going to win this division. They'll make another deep run in the playoffs. They have all of the pieces except for the quarterback. And that's the one thing that'll hold you back. But guess what? It's the one thing that's been holding back Kyle Shanahan teams forever.
Kevin, the elder god, in our YouTube comments said, Seattle could win the division, but if the 49ers make the playoffs, they're the more threatening of a team to face.
I would agree.
And I kind of do too. I think I feel like there's a ceiling with San Francisco. I mean, it's reasonably high. I just think it's exactly where you got last year. And is it totally out of the realm of possibility to say that Kyle Shanahan's now replaced Aaron Rodgers? Aaron was the guy that got to the conference championship every single year but could never get over the hump. Is it untoward to say that about Kyle Shanahan?
No.
I don't think it is either.
No, it's absolutely not.
Because I can't see a path if they beat Philadelphia. You get to the conference championship game, I don't see how you can beat them. I don't.
I don't either. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We will continue the way too early prognostications following the NFL schedule release last night, coming up in the next hour. But after the break, it's Jeremy's Bangers of the Night.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zack with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is a bacon or sausage egg croissant plus small seasoned potatoes for $3. It's the breakfast that don't miss. So if you did miss Wendy's breakfast, don't imagine. Fresh cracked eggs, sizzling sausage, crispy bacon, and block out those hot, buttery, flaky croissants. Croissants don't really make a sound, but if they did, for a breakfast that don't miss, Wendy's is that breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's $3 breakfast deal.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's. Select a request $3 breakfast deal to obtain discount. Not valid for a la carte or combo orders.
Imagine transforming your outdoor space into a stylish and functional area for relaxation and entertainment. Imagine superior durability and longevity, ensuring that your investment lasts for years to come. Imagine whatever you'd like. Decorators Composite Decking, Railing, Balusters, and Accessories can help you create a deck that reflects your personal style and provides an inviting space for you and your loved ones to gather. Make your vision a reality. To learn more, visit decorators.com. That's decorators with a K.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Spring in the South means the return of Atlanta Braves baseball.
There's a liner out towards center field. It will lay down. Here comes Ronald. Braves win it.
The 2023 Braves load up for another huge season.
The Braves play here on ESPN Asheville.
Coffee still closes on.
Get them the money. And when you get the money, you get the power.
That watch costs more than your car.
And when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Very rarely are you as happy with a 1-4 night as I am right now. I've been saying for weeks that the 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets are on a mission to prove to the NBA that they are a force to be reckoned with, and last night they showed that in Phoenix. And you mark my words, they're winning this title, and I don't care who they have to go through. 2 elimination games in the NBA tonight, and we'll try to finish the week off strong. This is Greene on Greene, brought to you by Ingles Markets. Low prices, love the savings. The New York Knicks are a 6.5-point dog tonight in Miami, over-under 207. I'm doing it again. I can't look at this Miami team and imagine a world where they end up in the Eastern Conference Finals behind the likes of Max Struss, Gabe Vincent, and Duncan Robinson. I know Jimmy Butler has been unbelievable, but I really think the Knicks figured out something with Quentin Grimes. There's a reason he played every second of Game 5, and I look for him to do it again tonight. I can't tell you the Knicks are going to win this game, but frankly, I think they will. The regression from Game 5 is coming, but I don't know if that's enough, and it's certainly not enough to justify this number. Old gambler's secret. When the entire world goes left, you go right. The world seems to think this series ends tonight, so I'm going the other way. Give me the Knicks plus 6.5 and over the 207. The Los Angeles Lakers are a 3-point favorite tonight at home against the Golden State Warriors, over under 219.5. The consolation game to determine who gets to go into Denver and get absolutely frog stomped. This is much easier to me. I know this is hard for some people to hear, but the Warriors are just not very good at this point. Steph is special, but Clay is a shell of his former self, and the rest of this offense just doesn't do anything for me. Anthony Davis has destroyed them in this series, and if he can avoid another bruised eyebrow or wheelchair-inducing concussion, this one should be pretty easy for the Lakers. Add that to the fact that this series becomes a 50-50 toss-up if it winds up back in the Bay, and I think you're going to see something similar tonight to what you saw in Phoenix last night. Give me the Lakers. I'll give the 3 over the 219.5. For more, follow us on all the social medias at The Sportsocracy. And as always, Greene on Greene is brought to you by Ingles Markets. Love the savings with Ingles. Love the winnings with me. Mull it out.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit-and-miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Finding a great hire can be a challenge. That's why there's Indeed. Their powerful hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 toward your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Right now during Staples Free Tech Take-Back, Rewards members get $10 back in Staples Rewards when they recycle their tech. Ends June 3rd. Limit 1 reward per month. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/recycling for details. Cut the cord on your old tech and recycle it at Staples.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. Snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Doug Brown. In the NBA playoffs tonight, Miami and Los Angeles host Game 6. The Heat lead the Knicks 3-2. The Lakers lead the Warriors 3-2. Both games on ESPN TV starting at 7:30 Eastern. The Lakers-Warriors game also on ESPN Radio with coverage starting at 9:30 Eastern. And our Kendra Andrews reports Warriors forward Andrew Wiggins will be a game-time decision with a rib cartilage fracture. The only team already in the conference finals, the Denver Nuggets. And our Tim Legler is thoroughly enjoying Nikola Jokic and his teammates.
They're so fun to watch because they're built around this one player that you can't speed up. He reads every situation correctly, and he never does anything more than he has to on any given offensive move.
Tim Legler. ESPN has learned Commanders owner Dan Snyder wants to limit the release of the investigation into his alleged sexual misconduct and financial improprieties. That report is one of the last big issues in the pending sale of the team for more than $6 billion.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. They're close, convenient, and have the parts you need fast, along with excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
This is Canty.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are
Vince McMahon?
Mm-hmm.
The "you're fired" Vince McMahon voice? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why it's doing it, but.
Okay. NFL schedule came out last night, and we're doing that thing that we always do. When the schedule comes out, you got to give your knee-jerk reactions. We're predicting all of the records, order of finish in each and every division of the NFL after we've seen what the schedule looks like. We've got a lot of teams that have a lot of primetime games. I think there's 4 with 6. There's like 8 with 5 primetime games, including the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings for some reason. They really loved the NFC North in primetime games.
Yes.
The Detroit Lions got a whole bunch as well, or way more than they usually do. How about that? Oh, and by the way, all that talk yesterday about, Jeremy said, you can't trust the leaks. These are all going to be there. We can't trust any of these. Every game that we gave you yesterday, absolutely factually correct in the schedule.
Well, and that's the thing I know now.
There wasn't one game that we told you was going to happen yesterday in the primetime slot and the week, all of that is not in the schedule.
And now we got one division left in the NFC.
Yes.
Well, we've got a super chat, but before we get to that, our buddy Zach Sawyer from the Dude Takes podcast, he said he's watching from the house today. Just had a new baby girl, Andy Kate Sawyer, listening for the first time.
Awesome! Congratulations.
That's the golden age.
That's awesome.
It's a great thing. Teach them young.
Absolutely.
Listen to these two fat morons.
All right, to the super chat from Gage Camplin.
Boop.
I'm your huckleberry.
Says, got the Bengals-Eagles Super Bowl 20-1 odds. What are your thoughts on that? And I say, winner, chicken dinner, because that's my Super Bowl.
It's probably mine, too, if I was being honest.
I asked Jaron. He did not go down the path of picking all of the playoff games, but my little playoff predictor thing, it gives it right to you.
I mean, I can pick them pretty quickly. I've got them seeded out.
Yeah, and that's how I came up with it. Philadelphia against the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. I got Philly winning it all. So there you go. Kiss of death, Eagles fans. Congratulations. You are next up. Do we remember who my Super Bowl champion from last year was?
I don't.
It was the Baltimore Ravens.
Ew.
Yeah, that didn't go my way.
No.
Didn't go my way. So, Stephen Tao, you're welcome. No, you're no longer the Super Bowl champions, the Hank Spencer Kiss of Death victim of the year. It is now the Philadelphia Eagles,
who are going to win the NFC East.
In a walk.
You like them way more than I do. I can definitively say you like them way more than
Absolutely. I like this team as much as I liked them last year. I have them finishing.
I don't like the schedule as much.
I have them finishing the season at 15-2.
Their schedule is brutal. I mean, it's NFC brutal, so it's not. I mean, we're not talking about what the Jets got or any of those other teams. But, I mean, you have to play the AFC East.
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 games that are not going to be fun.
Nope.
And you catch New England in Foxborough, which is going to be even less fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that would theoretically be the easiest of the 4. And that's your first game of the season. And even with that, I have them going 12-5. I have them going 12-5 and losing 3 games to the AFC East.
Wow. Good for you. I have them losing 1 game in the AFC East, and I have them losing 1 game to an opponent from the AFC West. I have them losing to the Buffalo Bills and to the Kansas City Chiefs.
You know what? Now that I look at it, 4 of their 5 losses are to the AFC because the NFC is poopy.
Absolutely. There's not another team on their schedule that'll look at and go, you don't have the advantage in this game. It may not be a great advantage, like San Francisco and Philly in Week 13. Everybody's healthy. Knock on wood, hopefully. That's what we all hope for. We want to see these teams be really good against each other and everybody healthy at the end of the season so we can get a true champion. That's going to be a fun game, but I don't think San Francisco goes into Philadelphia and wins that game.
I have the Eagles and Cowboys with 2 of the 3 best records in the NFC. Eagles are 12-5, Cowboys are 10-7. Cowboys are tied with the Lions and the Seahawks. 49ers are the other 12-win team, tied with the Eagles.
I have the Philadelphia Eagles at 15-2. They are by far the number 1 team in the NFC.
There's that lenient grader we're used to. 15-2 with that schedule.
Yep.
I'll be honest with you. They go 15-2, just give them the trophy. It's fine. You go 15-2 against this, you're the champions.
That's why I came up with they are the Super Bowl champions for this year. I got the Dallas Cowboys at 11-6. They're tied with the San Francisco 49ers and the Detroit Lions. Problem is, both those other teams are going to win their divisions, and that still leaves the Dallas Cowboys as a wild card.
Yes. I have the Cowboys as the 5. Then you get to the other 2 teams in this division. And I've already seen a couple Giants fans that are assuming you are about to throw shade at the New York Football Giants.
Assuming that I am? Okay. I have them at 8-9. I don't feel like that's bad. Am I way off? I can't be way off, because if you have this team any higher than 10-7, I'm going to need to ask you to explain it to me.
I don't have them that good.
You don't have them at 8-9?
They're 7-10.
Okay.
They're 7-10 for me because I don't know what Brian Daboll did to somebody in the league office. Yesterday, Tank threw out they play, 7 of their first 10 games on the road?
7 of their first 10 games on the road. The first team since, ever.
And I thought, surely to God, there's no way the NFL league office will do that to a New York team. A, they did. B, one of your home games, you play going into week 12, you will have played 4 home games. One of them is against the Dallas Cowboys. One of them is against the Seattle Seahawks. One of them is against the Washington Commanders. You're better than one of those teams definitively, and I think you're definitively worse than the other 2. Your 4th home game's against the Jets. You could be the lesser represented team in your own stadium in one of those 4 home games. Because I'm going to tell you this, and this will be the first time, but will not be the last time I say this today. Jet fans are crazy people, and they are all losing their minds right now. So take the journey with me, because this is verbatim how I had this going.
Okay.
They lose week 1 to Dallas, catch that win against Arizona, lose to San Francisco, lose to Seattle, lose to Miami, lose to Buffalo. So now you're sitting at 1-5 going into a game with Washington. What's going to happen? I know New York sports fans like the back of my hand because I've been one for 30-plus years. This team starts 1-5. And all of a sudden, the boo birds are going to come out because that's what you do. Because you have these really high expectations. Everything was so good last year. Then you're going to catch that Washington game. Yeah, win. Hey, it's a win. You're at home playing them. Well, I'm not saying definitively you do.
Maybe. If you're 1-5, do we not remember before last year? Before last year, when Daniel Jones played at home, he heard nothing but boos. He starts 1-5 this year. That very well could be the case again, and then that starts getting into the quarterback's head. He loses to Washington, loses to the Jets, and then it's just a snowball that never gets corrected.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. You lose to Washington after a start like that, colorblind people it will be physically impossible for them to watch the Jets-Giants game because the sidelines will be blue and the crowd will be green.
I think it'll be that way anyway.
I do too because Jets fans are crazy people. And I'm just looking at the schedule going, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Because then you go on the road 3 times in a row. One of them's on the West Coast. Another one is a time zone away with a significant amount of travel. This schedule is awful. Genuinely awful. I can't believe somebody signed off on this. Because this is just not fair. I don't care how good you think this team is. Nobody can sustain this. Nobody can sustain a schedule like that. And then you get a late bye. After all of this travel, you get a late bye in week 13. And then you have 2 more road games. I could argue 3 of the easiest games on the schedule are after the bye. And by then, it may not matter.
And I don't think it will.
I don't either.
I really don't. I mean, New York is – I look at New York much like we've looked at the Carolina Panthers for the last, 4 years at least, of – This is a team that you can believe in the players on the field. Now, unlike the Carolina Panthers, I can believe in the head coach much more than I could of anybody that's been in charge of the Panthers for the last 25 years.
I believe in this coaching staff. I believe in this team. I have never in my life seen a schedule that skewed me more than this one. Because I don't know how you're supposed to withstand it. All right, I've said how I think this goes. Now let's just go the rosiest colored glasses we possibly can. That first week you beat Dallas at home. All right. Beat Arizona, you're 2-0. You're really telling me you think you're going to go into San Francisco and beat them?
Because they don't have a quarterback.
I don't care. I don't care if I'm playing quarterback. That defense against Daniel Jones, just keep repeating that, you'll eventually get where I am. Say you beat Seattle. Now you're sitting 3-1. You think you're going to go into Miami or Buffalo and beat them? Really?
Nope.
Really? Then you catch a Washington team whose defense is going to be really good, the Jets, who are going to have one of the best defenses in the league, and you got 3 road games before you have to play New England. And you got Bill Belichick scheming against Daniel Jones. This is evil. Genuinely evil. And I hope it's the only time we ever see this weird aberration that 7 of your first 10 weeks you're on the road.
It will be.
Because I can't wrap my brain around this.
I guess at some point, this had to land on somebody. In the history of time, at some point, this was going to happen where somebody ended up with a whole bunch of road games at the beginning of the season, a whole bunch of road games at the end of the year. But it is very daunting. And I feel bad for the New York Giants because of it, because I feel like you got a lot to build on here, and there's a lot of expectation for this team to go back to the playoffs. And you're hoping that Daniel Jones has, a step forward again. You're hoping that Saquon Barkley has that contract year, or if you get the extension done, whatever. It's not going to be easy at all.
I feel better about this team. Fact or fiction, you feel better about this team right now than you did last year.
Yes.
For me,
it's not even close.
I was about to say it's not even close for me.
I think last year when we did this, I had them with 5 wins. and they won 5 in the first 6 weeks of the season or something crazy like that.
I feel better about the talent on this team. Do you realize what has happened to the line for the Giants since the schedule came out last night?
It had to have plummeted.
They were at 9.5 in some sports books. The line has now come down to 8.5. This is total wins.
Mm-hmm.
And the under is minus 140. The only other team that has a line that significant is the Las Vegas Raiders. That's the only other team where going under your number is that aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
If I was a Giants fan, I would be inconsolably angry right now of what the league did to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the fourth team in this division, the Washington Commanders. You know how I feel about Sam Howell. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in this league. What is your takeaway of how this schedule starts?
I'm not sure you could have asked for a better game to start with.
First 2
for Sam Howell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the first 2. I don't look at that Denver game and go, that's just immediately a win.
I didn't say it was immediately a win. The first 2 are okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love having Sam Howell throwing at Patrick Surtain. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But you're still figuring things out. I would much rather play Denver since I have to go to Denver, I would rather go there in the middle of September than go in the middle of December.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go Bills, Eagles, Bears, Falcons, Giants, Eagles, Patriots, Seahawks. Good Lord, how many good defenses can you play in a short period of time? That's evil too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's completely changed my philosophy on I hope this goes well for Sam Howell. And if he comes out of this year with a respectable stat line, let's say he throws 3,700 yards in 16 games, misses 1 somewhere,
mm-hmm.
2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, franchise quarterback.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah.
Because if you can sustain this, you can sustain anything I can throw at you.
Mm-hmm.
But it does affect how many games I think they're going to win.
Yeah, I wonder how many – I wonder how fans are going to feel because I have this team starting out 4-2. 6 weeks into the season, you're 4-2. I'm not saying it's, it could be some close games in there. I don't like the Bears, so obviously I've got them beating the Bears. I got them beating the Falcons.
The Cardinals and the Broncos.
I got them keep beating the Cardinals and the Broncos.
I was about to say, if you've got them beating the Bills or the Eagles, I'm going to ask you if you're actively on drugs.
I'm not. What are you, cop? And then I got you losing a couple after that, the Giants and the Eagles. I actually have them going to Foxborough and beating New England, which I think is just hilarious to me.
Yeah, I can genuinely say I do not have that.
But then after that, I got you winning 1 game. 1 game the rest of the season against the Los Angeles Rams. And you lose the rest of them.
The last 6 weeks, at the Cowboys, Dolphins, at the Rams, at the Jets, 49ers, Cowboys. Shoo, buddy, that's awful.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew the schedule was going to be tough because I had seen the teams that they played. I was hoping you got some, I'll say, concessions. You got a 2-game – I'm stuck on what you said about Denver. It's not that it's a positive. It's just that it's a positive compared to what it could have been. You get no other positive the rest of the schedule. Nothing. There is not one game where I go, well, that worked out your way.
Mm-hmm. And again, I could see Washington Commanders fans 6 weeks into the season, if it goes my way, being 4-2, and they're like, see, we're good. And then
Bill, where's my check in the comment
he's
said,
not happy.
Tank, sometimes I hate the things you say, when you say them, and how you say them. And Bill, welcome to the last 4 years of my life, my friend. As he is. He's just a jerk sometimes, isn't he? Just jump on him. Everybody always attacks me. It's fine. I got thick skin. I don't really care, to be honest with you.
So your final prediction for the Washington Commanders, what is their finish?
I have the Commanders and the Giants at 7-10. Cowboys at 10-7. Eagles at 12-5.
Okay. All right. I have the Eagles at the top, 5-2 or 15-2. 11-6 for the Cowboys, 8-9 for the Giants, 6-11 for the Washington Commanders.
After the break, we will discuss what that would mean for the playoffs for the NFC, and then after the bottom of the hour, we shift to the AFC.
You're in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slowing 240 westbound between Merriman Avenue and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slowing between I-40 and Bavard Road. Again, 26 eastbound slowing between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Airport Road. 40 eastbound is crawling between Bavard Road and Sweeten Creek Road. An accident has the left lane blocked in this stretch at mile marker 51. 40 westbound slow between exit 44, Smoky Park Highway, and George's Branch Road, and 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Near the NC Arboretum, Bavard Road north and southbound stop and go between Clayton Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway near Inca Village.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is your choice of bacon or sausage, egg and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Break your morning routine and get your $3 breakfast deal today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You lost brain cells listening to this one. And this one too. And, this one. Wait, what were we saying? The new Rock 105.1, Asheville's Real Rock.
Discover credit cards automatically double all the cash back you earn at the end of your first year, which means... Wait, hold up. Question for the audio engineer.
Go ahead.
Did I read that right? Discover automatically doubles all your cash back?
Yeah, that's what the script says.
So if I get a Discover card right now, I can earn twice the cash back.
Apparently. Wait! Unlimited first-year cash back match. Only from Discover. See terms and learn more at discover.com/match.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
MOM. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
It is the Sportsocracy, and it's a Football Friday. I can't do it.
Football Friday.
I can't make my voice do that thing.
I was an impressionist. I can make my voice do a lot of things. Brian,
like you impressed your buttocks on a copy machine.
I mean, just several times. But what are you, a cop?
No, I'm not. Yeah, but so we continue with our prognostications of the
of the NFL. The NFC East belongs, well, the entire NFC belongs to the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles are my 1 seed, so they'd get the bye. Then in the playoffs, you would have the 49ers and the Falcons. Be a barn burner. The Lions and the Seahawks, Saints and the Cowboys. That is how that would go for me.
Okay. Mine is, the Eagles at 1. Then you got San Francisco and the New Orleans Saints in the 2-7 matchup. Then you go.
But I thought you said you had the Saints win the division.
Oh, yeah, it changed. What changed? It
flipped
flipped them on my thing. Now it's got the Panthers ahead of the New Orleans Saints, despite the same record.
Yeah, when you kept telling me, I have the Saints going 10-6. Well, that's weird because they play 17 games. Good Lord, you'd think so. You would think eventually, if I talked enough smack about you not being able to do electronic things, you would fact check something before you said it.
They're both 9-8, I swear
bizarre.
to God, a minute ago, New Orleans was ahead of them.
It's weird. The Rams go 4-7. I don't know why that happened. I don't either.
All right, so I guess it's changed. All right, so we got San Francisco and New Orleans as the 2-7 game. Then you have the Detroit Lions as the 3 seed taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
We both have that.
Yeah, and then the final one, the Carolina Panthers get road stomped.
A home playoff game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, against the Dallas Cowboys.
So for me, I've got Philly and the 49ers again in the NFC Championship game.
And I have,
because the Cowboys are not going to find a way unless one of those lower seeds wins. Seahawks beat the Lions, then you could have Cowboys Eagles in the NFC Championship game.
Mm-hmm. I have the Philadelphia Eagles and same thing. Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers.
Wildly consistent there.
Yeah.
Tank had to take the long way around to get there, but we had the same thing.
Hey. It is what it is. So that's the NFC landscape as we see it. Where did we go wrong? What team should make the playoffs, or what team do you think is going to make the playoffs that we didn't have making the playoffs? Do you think it's the New York Giants? That's about the only one that I will take without laughing.
I can genuinely say and this is every year we do this. This is where we got on Philadelphia last year, because you and I did this exact same procedure, and you and I kept looking at each other going, I have the Eagles 15-2 or 14-3. Mm-hmm. And then we even started trying to be hard on them, and we couldn't find more than 4 losses. And mine this year is going to be the Chicago Bears. That team is going to finish better than you think. I'm not telling you they're great, but where a lot of these teams got no favors with the schedule, they did. And I do have 3 teams finishing in the top 8 from the NFC South. Panthers are the first team out of the playoffs for me. And then there's just such a divide. I don't think there are a lot of good teams in the NFC.
No, they're not.
If there's one that shocked you and was better than we're saying they are, who would it be? If there's one that you look at and go, that's one that could bite me in the old hind end.
Oh, I guess I have to go with New Orleans now that
you don't have them winning the division.
Now that I don't have them winning the division.
If there was one that I'm afraid is going to bite me, it would be the Packers. Because if Jordan Love is better than I think he is, and look, I didn't like him as a draft prospect. I haven't liked what little I've seen of him in the NFL. And I'll be honest with you, if Green Bay believed in him, they wouldn't have dealt with the Aaron Rodgers headache for 3 years. Mm-hmm. This wouldn't have. That's. I don't even feel like that's an opinion. That's a fact.
No, that whole 4-year, $200 million contract, that
you wouldn't
never
have given that
happened.
to him.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't have. And I just feel like this team has seen what Jordan Love is, and now they're playing with house money. Mm-hmm. We got a first-round pick from the Jets next year, which we can use to go get a quarterback. We can get out of this deal the extension we just signed him to. That's why they didn't want to do the team option. Everybody said it was to save money. I'm not sure it wasn't to avoid it being guaranteed.
team outside of the playoffs for me that I'll be or that I think has the greatest chance to prove me wrong or make me look foolish, I think it's the Atlanta Falcons. I really do. I mean, you look at the defense, and I like all of the moves that they've made. I just don't trust your quarterback, and it's a much different situation than San Francisco.
I think there's
Stop
one.
throwing that at me.
I think there's one that has a really good chance to make you look stupid, and that's the Chicago Bears, because you'll be in a bear suit like boo-boo. Because now that I think it was Stephen Towle that said this, you're not tall enough for the Yogi costume, so you'll have to be boo-boo. And now that vision is in my head, and I am the biggest Chicago Bears fan on the planet. I'll show up in a Ranger costume with a picnic basket.
It is the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. The NFC prognostications are out of the way, and now it's time to get to the better of the conferences.
By a lot.
The AFC predictions coming up next here in the Sportsocracy in the Ingles Studio.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit-and-miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon, evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Lariamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Light delays 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound slow between Brevard Road and exit 4A. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound delays between I-40 and Long Shoals Road. East of Canton, 40 eastbound near Newfound Road, an accident. The right lane blocked. 40 eastbound crawling between NC 191, Brevard Road, and Sweeten Creek Road. An accident has the left lane blocked at mile marker 51. 40 westbound is slow between the Smoky Park Highway and exit 27. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Hendersonville Road southbound, very busy between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound, slow between Biltmore Forest and the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm Lee Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Tara, quote, "My doctor wanted me to do saline rinses for my allergies, but I've never been able to successfully use a neti pot. Navage uses suction power, so it's foolproof. There are nights when I'll have particularly bothersome allergies. I'll bust it out, and the results are immediate. It's such a relief. It's become a lifesaver." Unquote. She's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
At Ingles, we are proud to introduce our all-new curbside service. Just visit shop.ingles-markets.com or download the app to order, and our friendly staff will bring your groceries right to your car and have you ready to go in no time. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, your home for football. I mean, football rules all. And the NFL schedule came out last night, and now we get to pick all the games because we know when they're going to happen. So excited that my Tampa Bay Buccaneers got 2 primetime games in which you can just watch them just thoroughly get de-skinned on television.
De-skinned?
Yeah, one's against the Philadelphia Eagles, and the other one is against the Buffalo Bills.
It's a word I didn't think we'd be hearing today.
That'd be awesome.
Not sure that is a word, but
it's probably not. It's probably not, but
de-skinned.
Not do that to your chicken? Do you de-skin your chicken? When
no.
you cook chicken?
No, God, no.
Okay.
Chicken skin's fantastic.
I mean, it's good, but it's
Fry
not good
it
for you.
Oh, yeah, because I really look like a man that's worried about what's good for me.
I forget. You're still at that point where you don't care.
My liver looks like it's been through the microwave. I don't really think I'm worried about what's good for me. Jeremy mentally tapped out on his 70s when he was about 17.
Mm-hmm. We have given you our prognostications for every division in the NFC. Now it's time to talk about the AFC, where you're going to have to win a whole mess of games to make the playoffs in the AFC.
11, bare minimum. The AFC is Thunderdome.
I'm at 12.
I'm at 12. There are 11-win teams that miss playoffs.
Yes.
But I do think once you have your 6th loss, you can basically say we're not making the playoffs in the AFC. There's too many good teams.
I would agree. We're going to start with the NFC North. To me,
AFC North.
Or excuse me, the AFC North. To me, this is the best division. And
top to bottom, I'll agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like choosing between your children. There are 3 awesome divisions in the AFC.
There are. But to me, the NFC North is at the top, and I think it's going to be the most exciting down the stretch of the season.
That's funny you said that because every team in the division wins double-digit games for me.
I don't have them all winning double-digit games, but I have them all either winning double-digit games or pretty darn close to doing it. So, first off, it's the Cincinnati Bengals. I already told you, Cincinnati Bengals, they are my AFC champions for this year. And I also have them going 15-2. I don't see a whole lot of losses.
13-4.
I don't see a whole lot of losses for them.
I don't either. I'm very jealous of the AFC North schedule. As a fan of a team in the AFC East who has to play the West and the NFC East. I don't love that at all.
Would love to play the AFC South.
No doubt. That's the free square on the board. You got to beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. End the message, repeat the line. Who are your losses for Cincinnati? I'm just curious if we had the same ones.
Baltimore. I have them losing at Baltimore in Week 11. But I also have them losing in Week 1 to the Cleveland Browns. There's always that one game at the beginning of the season that you go, just don't. I mean, remember last year? What was it, Week 2? Where they lost Week 1. I don't even remember who they played in Week 1. Might have been Pittsburgh or somebody. They started out 0-2 because they went to Dallas and lost to Dallas in Week 2. I could see them losing against Cleveland in the opener. It's a really close game. All of these AFC North games are always close.
Pan, our buddy from Poland, who is a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, said, I think every AFC North team will split 1-1 between themselves. That's entirely possible.
Good.
I don't have a lot of losses for these teams outside of the division.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see many. Because you catch a really favorable schedule.
Mm-hmm. It's tough to open up for the Bengals. First 2 games are against conference opponents. But you're at home against Baltimore in Week 2.
I have them winning that and losing to Cleveland the same way you do.
Okay. That's weird. We did that last year with Green Bay, too.
Mm-hmm.
It was just interesting how that worked out. And then You go Rams, Titans, Cardinals.
That's
three wins.
Layup wins, and two of them are on the road.
Easy. The Seahawks game could be good. Seahawks are coming off a bye. Seahawks coming off a bye in Cincinnati.
It's a lot of travel.
That is a lot of travel.
A lot of travel in a 1 o'clock game.
Seattle always travels. I think it was Jonathan Welch was making the comment in our Discord chat the other day of, oh, look how far we have to travel.
Well, I mean, you're 1,700 miles from practically every team in the NFL.
Right.
That's not the teams you play in the
division.
The
Seahawks always have to travel. All those West Coast teams have to travel because most of the teams are in the East.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, you draw the line down the center of the United States. You got 6 teams on the western side of it, and all the rest of them are on the eastern side. So, yeah, those West Coast teams are going to travel a whole mess. I do like the fact that Seattle's coming off a bye, though, playing that game. And then you got the Bengals coming off the bye, going to San Francisco, who doesn't have a quarterback. That's a scenario where I will use that because I think that game, you're going to be able to score points against that defense.
Mm-hmm. You have Joe Burrow going up against those corners. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine.
Yeah. Who are you relying on to stop T. Higgins? Diamador Lenore? Good luck. Good luck. Take luck because you're going to need it.
Now, the most interesting part of this division to me, I think we all know the Bengals are good. I think we all know that the Bengals are going to win 10 or 11 games.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some people say, well, this is going to be a year where they take a step back. Okay, a step back is still 10, 11 wins. And I don't see that under any circumstances. They got a lot of advantages in the schedule. I can't get 7 losses. Even if I just took a scalpel to the schedule, I don't see them. I don't see you losing 7 games, and I certainly don't see you losing any more than that.
Mm-mm.
Now, I want to play a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Who, and I'll count to 3, and then we'll both say it, because we have not talked. This is one of the things we hadn't talked about, and we did it on purpose.
Okay.
Who do you have finishing second in this division?
Baltimore Ravens.
You don't listen.
I don't.
You don't listen
don't.
at all.
I don't.
I have the Cleveland Browns finishing second in this
Really?
division with 12 wins. I have the Cleveland Browns as the first wild card in the AFC.
Okay. The Baltimore Ravens are second in this division. They're not even the first wild card for me. And they have 13 wins.
I have Baltimore finishing tied with the Steelers. They're both 11-6, and they both just barely missed the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually the first and second team out of the playoffs.
Yep.
And I'm afraid that's how this division is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, I don't remember who, it was somebody on Dan Patrick saying that he only sees one team coming out of the AFC East. Okay, now you're overvaluing the schedule. And he had 3 teams coming out of the AFC North. I get it. That schedule's easier. I also can't look at – I think Baltimore has some deficiencies, and if they come up against a couple things that I don't like. Because I'm looking at your corners going, Marlon Humphrey, and then not much. But we signed Rocky saying, okay. In the AFC, that ain't going to be good enough. I hate to tell you. Pittsburgh Steelers, I feel the same way. All right, Joey Porter's here too. Cool. He's going to get absolutely annihilated in certain games.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Pittsburgh. But the one team that I think is the most well-rounded is Cleveland.
Okay.
And people seem to be forgetting how good Deshaun Watson was before all of the things.
I don't think it's forgetting.
I do. There are people that seem to think he is not a top 10 quarterback in this league, and I cannot make my brain understand that.
He's not.
A top 10 quarterback in this league?
From what I saw last year, he's not. Like, you have to prove to me that you're back to it.
Is he a top 10 quarterback this year, fact or fiction?
I'm sure he probably will be.
Okay. I was about to – this will be the second time I'm going to ask you if you're on drugs.
No. I'm just saying that's what I don't think people forget how good he was in Houston. I think people just don't think that he's going to get back to that point. After the long layoff, all of the things that have happened, you saw him come back last year, and there was nothing at the end of the season that I saw anyway that made me believe that he was going to recapture that top 10, top 5 mantle. I believe he will.
But you also have to understand how many this was the first year after a complete year layoff.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't around the team. Now you got a full off season. Now you have legit weapons because you got Elijah Moore. And then I'm just looking up and down the schedule going, there's a lot to like here.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you catch Cincinnati the first week of the season. All right, so you get one of those out of the way early. And then there's a lot of the beginning is difficult, but you'll still come out of that 3-3 at worst.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a stretch. They could win 5 of 6, I think, easy. Easy. Talking about when we got the Rams, the Bears, the Texans, the Broncos. Catch the Steelers in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
It's a spot where you can win 5 games in 6 weeks.
You can. I've always felt like Cleveland is one of those teams, though. They're one of those.
Oh, is this the Jets going to jet thing all over again? That
Exactly.
Cleveland's going to do what Cleveland does?
Exactly. You can say that for pretty much every team.
Yep, I could have said it about the
team.
Philadelphia Eagles for 40 years, and now they're that line irritates me. And I don't know why it's gotten so much worse now. I think it's because there's so much more scrutiny on the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
I could say that about every team that's been good at some point. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you were the class of the NFL for 3 years. You were the worst franchise in the league, and it was not close for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like we've gotten past this. The NFL is so much different now because of how the salary cap and the draft, and you're not going to be dog water forever. This is not the 70s where every player gets drafted to a team and then you're stuck there forever.
Right. But
I hate that phrase. Just detest it with every fiber of my being.
I get it because you don't want to believe that it's true.
No, because how many teams have beaten this? The Kansas City Chiefs couldn't win a big game for 30 freaking years, and now they've been in 5 Super Bowls.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, that's the one that, nobody ever breaks out of this. Kansas City did, Tampa Bay did, Philadelphia has.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas Cowboys didn't win a playoff game for 30 years.
But that's the thing. You don't say that until they break out, until they show you that they're different.
But it was never said about any of the teams I just said, who all had stretches where they were every bit as bad as the teams that this gets said about.
I feel like that's untrue.
Kansas City was irrelevant. I've never heard anybody say they couldn't win a big game. They couldn't, but nobody said it. And now, because the Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns, the Detroit Lions are the Detroit Lions, the New York Jets are the New York Jets. Well, those 3 teams can never be good. Well, that's stupid, and it's going to cost you a slew of money.
It's not that they can never be good. It's that they tend to find ways to let you down at the end of the year. And
frankly, I hope they all 3 make it to the conference championship games, just so I can go full Stone Cold Steve Austin, double bird at every person that said that to me over the course of the last 365 days.
Absolutely. There's something to be said for cultures, and winning cultures exist in winning programs, and I don't feel like the Cleveland Browns are one of those. And so you can be good, you can rack up a whole lot of wins, but I have no faith that you're going to win anything late in the season. Starts for me at I don't know, week 14. You can be in position to make the playoffs or be in threat to win this division, and for some reason, something happens, and the wheels are going to come off. Weird things happen in the NFL. I'm not saying that they can't be good or that they can't contend for this division. I mean, hell, I got them at 11-6 this year. It's not good enough to make the playoffs.
I have them at 12-5 as the first wild card team.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get to the Ravens and the Steelers, and really just the problem with them is that you have a hole that I don't see with Cleveland. You're still good.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in the NFC, you'd be the 3 seed. But there are going to be good teams that don't make it. There are going to be good teams in the AFC that do not make the playoffs, some of whom do not sniff the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. I see a lot of wins for the Baltimore Ravens this year after, in the offseason, it looked like this team could be god-awful. If you'd have lost Lamar, if you didn't get any of the weapons, this was going to be a bad team. But now Lamar's back. Now you've got weapons that we can kind of believe in. How long will Odell Beckham Jr. stay healthy? How relevant will he be? I think he'll be just fine. I think Zay Flowers will be the, a Rookie of the Year candidate in this offense, and they're pretty terrifying.
I like Baltimore a lot. That second corner spot makes me legitimately nervous. And so it's really hard for me to it's hard for me to see them as a playoff team because I don't see warts like that with 7 teams in this conference. I'll be honest with you, I don't see a wart like that with the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. That secondary is good. You need a better defensive coordinator, you got one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see a wart like that with the Jacksonville Jaguars, who, trust me, in the next hour, we're going to talk we'll talk a good bit about the Jaguars because their division is going to get 10-ish minutes, and 8 of them are probably going to be on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because I have some spicy on them.
You are in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Got to take a quick break.
After the break, we don't have long in the next segment, so we'll talk about what the draft order looks like in both of our ways before we finish off the AFC in the last hour.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 eastbound between Bavard Road and exit 4A. 240 westbound light delays between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between I-40 and Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. East of Canton, 40 eastbound, an accident near Newfound Road has the right lane closed. Expect heavy delays. 40 eastbound, then crawling between Bavard Road and Sweeten Creek Road. An accident has the left lane blocked in this stretch near mile marker 51. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound in Haywood County, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by GetRefunds.com.
I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. If you own a business and still haven't applied for the payroll tax refund, we want to pay a licensed tax attorney to see if you're eligible to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Go to GetRefunds.com, GetRefunds.com.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com. Babbel.com.
Finding great people to hire can be like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Their powerful matching technology delivers so many qualified candidates, it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. For less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Great, it's yours. See you then.
Nathan's Tiki-themed bar is swimming in end-of-year party bookings.
Where can I find that many servers? They want headlamps? And I'm going to need to find a band.
He needs caterers to navigate the rising tide.
No, Mario, not your cousin's cover band.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Our communities are filled with wonderful people who make living here great. At Home Trust Bank, we're proud of that. And that's why we focus on helping homeowners prepare for what's next. Our local mortgage bankers have the experience you need and exceptional personal service you'll appreciate. Home Trust Bank is ready to help make a house your home. When it's time to buy, visit your local Home Trust branch or go to htb.com/mortgage.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Breaking news on a Football Friday here in the Sportsocracy as big news in the NFL. The group led by Josh Harris has finalized the deal to buy the Washington Commanders from Dan and Tanya Snyder. It's in the books. So now look forward to new ownership for the Washington Commanders. Commanders fans, you can finally celebrate.
It's a great day to be alive if you're the Washington Commanders.
Absolutely, because this means now the floodgates open up for the fans to return. Just with the announcement of the sale, the potential sale of the team, this team sold out all of their suites. Mm-hmm. The luxury suites sold out in a matter of hours or minutes or whatever it was. I just remember reading the story going, wow, Dan Snyder did have that big of an effect.
He's toxic.
Yeah.
He was a cancer on that franchise. Mm-hmm. And now I won't be shocked if you have – how long does it take before they have a stadium deal in place?
Within the year.
I was going to say by the end of the year.
Yeah. Within the first year, they will have a set-in-stone deal of we have bought this property, this is where it's going to happen, we will have all of the support from the local community and the federal government, and whoever needs to be involved in that, they will have all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Everything that Dan Snyder could not do. I think there's a big thank you due from Washington Commanders fans to the politicians and I know that sounds weird, but the fact that they locked out Daniel Snyder from being able to do anything was a huge reason in why he sold this team.
Absolutely. I mean, he figured out, you've frozen me out here.
Mm-hmm.
So I might as well just sell the asset, take the money, and take my ball and go home.
Mm-hmm. The sale likely will not be approved until until at least the next league meeting, which takes place in Indianapolis, May 22nd, May 24th. So it could be a couple of weeks.
Ian Rappaport said he will be this group will be the legit owners of the Commanders by the end of May.
Mm-hmm.
So it's it's a banner day for Washington Commanders fans.
Absolutely, it is. And so you can, I'm hoping that the Harris Group will come in here and just completely rebrand the team again, because the Snyders screwed that up. They won't do it, but they should.
You hate those jerseys so much.
I hate it all. I hate the name. I hate the jerseys. I hate your stupid pig. Oink.
Major Tutty. Yeah, I'm not going to lie.
I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. But that can all change now. That can all change with the new ownership.
And I'll be honest with you, I think it will.
Mm-hmm.
I think you will see a steady improvement in this franchise in the free agents they're able to bring in. I mean, because you got to say, this was about the only team in the NFL where the ownership group was so bad that it had a direct effect on the relationship with agents, the relationship with players. I mean, I've been told over the years I've done the draft, there have been teams that said straight up, don't draft me. And I do not want to be stuck in this purgatory.
And get ready for the swings, because they're coming.
Oh, no doubt.
The ownership is going to take swings here. Somebody said in our chat yesterday when we were talking about Ron Rivera being on the hot seat, is he on the hot seat? I think he's been on it for a couple of years now. I think he's been on it his entire career, aside from the year after he went to the Super Bowl with the Carolina Panthers. But somebody said new ownership and a new coach equals disaster. I disagree with you. I think it's the perfect time. New ownership comes in, clearing house. We're clearing house, and it didn't necessarily.
Depends on how the year goes.
It didn't necessarily work out for David Tepper the first time around, but I think there's some lessons learned there for new owners in the NFL. We shall see. It is the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Sports Center is coming up next, and we'll continue with our predictions for the AFC.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit-and-miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon, evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Driving slow 240 eastbound between Boulevard Road and exit 4A. 240 westbound light delays between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between I-40 and Airport Road. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. East of Canton, 40 eastbound, an accident near Newfound Road has the right lane closed. Expect heavy delays. 40 eastbound, then crawling between Bavard Road and Sweeten Creek Road. An accident has the left lane blocked in this stretch near mile marker 51. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound in Haywood County, crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between Biltmore Forest and Overlook Road. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyndon Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Make your summer getaway to a new bed. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on top brands, with Queen starting at just $179.99. Plus, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets. Make your summer getaway to a new bed. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on top brands, with Queen starting at just $179.99. Plus, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
$1 billion, a new record for a U.S. sports franchise. Tom Brady, team owner? ESPN has learned Brady is in serious talks with Raiders owner Mark Davis, hoping to become a minority partner. A Friday night NBA Game 6 doubleheader starting at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN with the Knicks and Heat in Miami. The Heat lead the series 3-2, but Miami coach Eric Spoelstra says his team needs to do a better job on Jalen Brunson.
He has a great competitive will. So he's going to continue, to attack. He's going to continue to try to manipulate defense. He's aggressive. He's physical.
Eric Spoelstra then on ESPN, and starting at 9:30 Eastern here on ESPN Radio, Lakers and Warriors Game 6. The Lakers with another chance to close out last year's champs.
It's Wrangler season out there. Open roads, endless horizons. Shop Wrangler.com for new denim styles, made for your next adventure. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
If you haven't... He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets.
Final hour of a Football Friday here in the Sportsocracy.
It's officially happy hour. We've made it. It's Friday. It's Happy Hour Friday. Domestic Lights for All. And we start this hour of the program with, to me, the most interesting division in all of football.
It's the AFC East. We are continuing with our prognostications of the season. We have gone through every game on the schedule, week by week, knee-jerk reactions. Who do you think's going to win these games? And it's just a fun little exercise to see how wrong we're going to be at the end of the year.
Before we do the AFC East, Pan pointed out in the comments, you did not say your win-loss records for the North.
I did not?
Nope. Mine were 13-4 for the Bengals, 12-5 for the Browns, 11-6 for the Ravens and the Steelers.
Okay, I had the Bengals winning the division at 15-2. The Baltimore Ravens second place at the 6th seed in the playoffs with a 13-4 record. The Browns just missed the playoffs with a very respectable 11-6 record. And the Pittsburgh Steelers, last place, 10th in the AFC at 9-8. So everybody had a winning record for me.
Of course they did.
Because this is a good division.
It's all grading on the curve, Spencer. No big deal.
Oh, stop that.
Oh, everybody gets 9 wins. Nobody's going to be awful.
Wait, didn't you have everybody with double-digit wins in this divion?
I did.
Oh,
yeah, I did. Yeah.
How very liberal of you.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey, I will smack you on camera and dare you to do something about it. Trust me, I got plenty that are going to be mad at me.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody's ever said, well, Jeremy just wants everybody to like him. Yeah, that's not how this works.
So, the AFC.
I'm going to ask you the same question I put up as the poll question.
Okay.
Who wins the AFC East?
It's the Buffalo Bills. It was really close.
I agree with you. I have them tied with the New York Jets.
I do too.
I got them both at 12-5.
I got them both at 13-4.
It's always good when you wind up the same way. Which team do you want to start with?
Let's start with the Buffalo Bills.
Okay.
I feel like that is the overall favorite. I mean, if you look at the odds, I'm pretty sure that the Buffalo Bills are the favorite in Vegas to win this division.
Mm-hmm.
So Buffalo.
Oh, I actually don't. You keep talking. I don't know the answer to that.
Oh, who's the actual favorite?
I haven't looked since the lines came out.
I would just have to imagine that it would
Bills
probably.
Bills are plus 130, Jets are plus 230, Dolphins are plus 310, Patriots are plus 800.
Okay, I would have thought that had been a little bit closer, but that's pretty close.
That's reasonably close.
Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets open up on Monday Night Football in MetLife Stadium.
Yep.
I mean, I got the Bills winning that.
I don't, and I think that is an absolute. I think the Bills got a lot of. I don't hate their schedule. I mean, it's, according to PFF, 3 of the teams in this division have top 5 toughest schedules. They have a metric that all of those things work with.
Right.
I think the league did you a disservice, and Dirk Soldier just said it. This game's on 9/11 in New York. It's the first Monday night game you played in forever.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. You should have. I'm telling you right now, you remember I said this? Buffalo Bills are going to get hammered in week 1. Hammered. Now, from there, you can deduce what you want to. Ask yourself this question. Who lines up on Garrett Wilson week 1? And do you not remember what I believe it was FU Tour Aaron Rodgers is what we called it. Do you not remember the last time we did this? Do you not think he's going to prove a point on Monday Night Football?
Maybe.
He's won 9 in a row on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, maybe so.
That's really my biggest takeaway from the Bills' schedule is, man, they didn't do you any favors week 1. But from there, it's not that terrible for a while.
No, I mean, hell, you could go in and you could win the next 7 games in a walk before you have to take
I don't know
on
about in a walk.
Before you have to take on the Cincinnati Bengals.
There are some formidable parts of the schedule, but I will say the back half of it is evil.
Okay, I look at week 2 against the Raiders,
That's
not
a win.
competitive.
Yeah, that's a win.
Week
At Washington.
3 at Washington, not competitive. Miami will be competitive, but
100%.
you get that at home.
Yeah, but you catch the Dolphins and the Jaguars, both Florida teams. You catch them at home, but they're both in October. There is a big difference between Buffalo in October and Buffalo in December.
But I don't think
that was another part of this.
I don't think you need the cold advantage to beat those teams.
No, but it helps. That's a huge advantage that the Bills have, and that's another part of their schedule that kind of bothers me. 4 of your last 6 games are on the road, and the 2 that you catch at home, I think you would have won anyway. Patriots and the Cowboys. So I don't think the back half of the schedule did them any favors, but I still think Buffalo's really, really good.
Of course they are. We've got them
I've
projected
heard a lot
to win
of
the division.
There's a lot of people that seem to think they're going to take a step back,
and I don't necessarily see that. What did they lose? What did they lose that's going to hurt them so badly?
It's not what they lost. It's what was shown to you. The Cincinnati Bengals showed you the secret sauce to beating them.
Which is?
Joshua Brooks, by the way, that the Jaguars game is in London. He's right. I didn't saw that at home.
Yeah.
That's my bad. It's not in Buffalo, though. I was correct about that. What did they – it's not so much what they lost. You got the secret sauce that you learned from the Bengals of just send the hellhounds at them constantly. They can't block it.
Well, I just upgraded my offensive line, so
with a guard. You have an
2
guard.
of them.
Okay. Who are the tackles? The exact same 2 that just got annihilated by the Cincinnati Bengals. Do you realize who they have to go up against in this division? Look up and down this schedule and realize that the 7 best pass rushes in the NFL, they play them all. They play them all. So, I picked them 12-5. I got them winning the division. Do I think it is untoward that Buffalo could take a step back? No, I don't. And I hate to use Jason McIntyre because he is a Jets fan just like me. He said this earlier today. Name me the position group where the Buffalo Bills are better than the New York Jets. I'll wait. Receiver. Are they, though? Are they really? Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis, who I'm going to be honest with you, I'm starting to think I might have been wrong on Gabriel Davis.
And then?
And nobody. Dalton Kincaid. Woo. So at defense, Jets are better. Period. Fight me on it, bet me on it, whatever you want to do. Throw it in the chat. I'll take them all because you're going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So is it completely out of the realm of possibility? No. I could see Buffalo being one of those surprise teams that does not win as many games as you think. I still think they're going to make playoffs, and I've got them win the division.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the layup that it has been.
Buffalo's going to be very good. We know that. How good are the Jets going to be? That's the big question.
I want you to start this because I'm going to get called a homer. It's already in the chat, and I'm not going to lie. I said when this started, there's going to be some friends become enemies and enemies become friends because some of the things I've heard today are just flat out stupid.
Well, I mean, it's a whole lot of, you added Aaron Rodgers. Well, congratulations, he doesn't win anything. That's a lot of what I hear. Okay, but he does. I mean, he wins MVPs, and when he's got a good team, he wins a whole lot of regular season games. And I feel like this is a better team than he had in Green Bay.
No,
even
doubt.
in the MVP years.
This is the best team he's ever had. I don't think that's untoward.
I don't know.
Name me a time he's ever had a better running game than he has right now. Brees Hall would be the best running back he's ever played with. Please, God, throw Aaron Jones at me or Dorsey Levens or any of these other guys that Aaron Rodgers has played with over the years.
Brees Hall's better than Aaron Jones.
He would have been the runaway rookie of the year. Runaway. No doubt, not even debatable. Not even debatable. And now you have an actual honest-to-God quarterback. You understand he did that with Zach Wilson, right? That nobody's scared of. Nobody. And the thing that people seem to keep forgetting, you're clinging on to Aaron Rodgers. You're forgetting that's not what this team's built on. This is the best defense in the NFL. I don't even think that's a spicy take at this point. You want to give me San Francisco? More power to you. You have a Bosa. I have 6 pass rushers. Oh, and by the way, I have one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Oh, and by the way, I have the best cornerback tandem in the league. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. I can give you the analytics from it. They have 3 corners on this team. All of them finished top 15 in the league last year. With Zach Wilson as the quarterback. I don't need MVP Aaron Rodgers. And I understand that a lot of you hate me, and I understand a lot of you hate the New York Jets, but some of your hatred is making you stupid. And I can't say that any nicer than that. This team went 7-10 with a quarterback that completed 54% of their passes. Oh, by the way, that wasn't one guy. It was 4 combined. 4 of them. You don't like Robert Saleh. The Nathaniel Hackett hate is just comical to me. You do remember that he got a head coaching job in this league for being pretty good at what it is he does. You get that, right? DNA said, best defense in the NFL on what website? PFF. Last 14 weeks of the season is the best defense in the league. It wasn't close.
Yep.
San Francisco's the only one within shouting distance. If I could post it in the chat, I would. I'm just telling you, your hatred of the Jet narrative and Aaron Rodgers and all of those things is making you lose your minds. Because the facets of this team that made them 7-10 last year, they're all still there. All of them are still there. And now you have a legit NFL quarterback. It's the most important position in the sport, and it's not close.
All of sports.
And now, but their schedule's so hard. They played the tough schedule in the league last year. It was the same thing. And I've listened to this all day long, and I'm like, do you just hate the team this much? Do you just hate Aaron Rodgers, or have you gone completely out of your minds?
No, it's the same thing. It always comes back to the same thing.
Don't
and I
say
know
it.
you're tired of hearing. I'm not going to say
telling
it.
you, I'll swear.
I'm not going to say it, but it always comes back to the same thing. If a team can't win or hasn't won a lot, I'm not just going to believe that bringing in a new quarterback is going to change it, regardless of who that quarterback is.
New England Patriots have been losers for 40 years. Tom Brady shows up. They're the greatest franchise in football. But nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever said Patriots got a Patriot. Went to 2 Super Bowls, got annihilated in both. Other than that, had been the laughingstock of the league for 30 years. But please keep telling me, well, the Jets are just always going to be losers. This is the best quarterback they've ever had in franchise history.
Absolutely.
If he's a ghost of what he used to be, he's the best quarterback this team's ever had. The defense is fantastic.
Yep.
And now, let's play a fun game. Everybody's talking about how hard the schedule is. Okay. I'll dumb this argument down and say the Jets have a top 5 defense. Because if you disagree with that, you're the homer, not me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's play a fun game. Here are the quarterbacks that they have to play the first half of this vaunted schedule. Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, Mac Jones, Pat Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Jalen Hurts, a lot of pass rushing. Daniel Jones, Justin Herbert, Jimmy Garoppolo. Yeah, that's not as daunting as you're making it sound.
No.
It's just not. So, I mean, you want to say that this team goes 9-8, 10-7, whatever the case may be, that's fine. This narrative that, well, they're going to go 7-10 again. It could happen. Aaron Rodgers is going to get hit by a truck tomorrow. There's a lot of variables here. But you call me a homer one more time, I'm telling you, there's going to be some visceral that comes out of me. Because there are homers here, and it's all the ones laughing at me. I get I'm a fan. I'm also the most realistic fan I think I've ever met in my life. And this is a team, on paper, that's all we can do here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a team on paper that's a Super Bowl contender. And if you don't believe me, ask Vegas.
Yeah, and I don't know about any of the rest of you, but the Jets have been a tough one for me for years. When I think the Jets are going to be good, they're not. I get they've never had Aaron Rodgers before. I get that. But I remember I lost my mind just like Greene did famously when y'all signed Le'Veon Bell. And it was, oh, my God, the Jets are going to be so great. And then they weren't. How many times have they been – we thought they were going to be relevant, that they haven't been relevant?
Have you ever had a roster that was this good?
No.
The Le'Veon Bell roster was
not.
– I mean, if you remember, we did this show when that happened. And I told you, yeah, I'm glad. Do you remember my line when we signed Le'Veon Bell?
I do not.
I'm really glad I have somebody I can buy their jersey. I had no faith that this team was all of a sudden 12-5.
Mm-hmm.
You still suck at quarterback.
Oh, I bought it.
Period.
I thought they were no doubt 11-win team. This was going to be the year that they.
This team hasn't had a roster like this since Rex Ryan, and that team didn't have a quarterback. I could argue this defense is as good or better.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. That's why I have them at 13-4.
And I'm not even that high. I've got them 12-5. They're the last team that makes the playoffs for me. All of the things I just said, they're the last team that makes the playoffs, and they win a tiebreaker to get there. So it's just the hatred is comical. All of it's comical to me.
You do have one of the toughest schedules because you have one of the toughest divisions in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, you got to play the Cowboys. Plus, you got to play the Chiefs. You got to play the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, and by the way, I failed to finish that point I was making about quarterbacks. Last six games of the year, Desmond Ridder, rookie C.J. Stroud, Tua Tagovailoa, Sam Howell, Deshaun Watson, Mac Jones. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing this really just terrifying schedule that you are, because you're not playing any Pro Bowl quarterbacks. You play a handful. You play several good teams.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of these teams defend better than you do? No. Do any of these teams run the ball better than you do? Not really. And you have Aaron Rodgers, and they have the list of quarterbacks I just said.
Mm-hmm.
So the hatred is funny to me.
Mm-hmm. Now, the Miami Dolphins. That's a team that, again,
they're the hardest team in the NFL to predict for me because I don't know what I'm getting out of your quarterback.
Again, I feel like this team is the same thing they've been for years. Just outside the playoffs, not good enough to be a top-tier team.
Oh, but God, don't say that, because they're not the same old Dolphins. It's another franchise that's been a perennial loser for 40 years, but you can't throw that out there.
Yeah, you can.
Nobody does.
Oh.
Nobody does.
I get it. I get that there's not
I've
the
never
chorus out
heard
there.
one person ever say same old Dolphins. Ain't heard it once. I've heard same old Jets 40 times today. So, yeah, and I knew I was going to get mad about this before it was all said and done.
Of course you are. I've got them finishing third. The Miami Dolphins third in the division at 10-7.
According to PFF, they play the third most difficult schedule in the league.
I like the team. I just don't think you're good enough to compete with the elite of the AFC. Do you agree?
Well, I look at the Dolphins' schedule, and it's daunting. I don't necessarily think it's as tough as it's being made out to be, unless you don't have Tua.
Mm-hmm.
If you have Tua and you've got the guy that was throwing for, 280 yards a game last year, which is a ridiculously high average, You got that guy, then there's a lot of Mac Jones, Russell Wilson, Daniel Jones, Bryce Young that I just said about the Jets. You got Mike White. That changes because you don't have a defense like that. You got Jalen Ramsey that can deal with one receiver. People seem to forget. Xavier Howard wasn't particularly good last year. Now, he's the 2 now. That helps.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've done certain things. You have the fastest offense I've ever seen. You have the fastest offense I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. But if you don't have Tua, then you're last in this division.
I have them 10-7 with him. Where would you have them without him?
7-10, maybe?
Somewhere in that ballpark. Somebody asked me that earlier.
Somewhere in there.
And I think it would look strikingly similar offensively. I don't think Mike White's a huge regression from Tua as a quarterback.
Okay.
Statistically. But you get into those crunch time, last 5 minutes. I've seen a lot of Mike White let me down. So you could lose a lot of those close games if that happens.
Absolutely.
I think the Dolphins go 10-7.
Yep.
11-6 on the high side, 9-8 on the low side. I don't think there's a lot of play with them.
No, I don't either. And then that leaves us with the last place team in this division. According to our prognostications, it is the New England Patriots. I got them at 8-9.
I'm at 6-11.
This team is what the Los Angeles Chargers was it the Chargers social media team compared Mac Jones to a vanilla milkshake. That's the New England Patriots franchise to me. Of you come out, smack people in the mouth, you're going to win some games that we don't expect you to.
Patriots are going to be 0-4, and I don't see a way around it. You play the Eagles in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's at home. Whoopee-woo.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Dolphins week 2. It's September, not December. Then you play at the Jets, at the Cowboys. You're 0-4.
Yep.
There's nothing spicy about that. Then I think there are a handful of wins over the next 6 weeks, from the Saints down to the Colts. And then the back end of your schedule is absolutely evil. At the Giants, Chargers, at the Steelers, Chiefs, at the Broncos, at the Bills, and the Jets.
You can win a couple of those games.
That's a weird way of saying the Broncos. That is a really odd way of saying the Broncos.
Oh, come on. End of the year, you don't think they can go into Pittsburgh and win?
Mac Jones against that defense. I'll be honest with you. If you told me right now Bailey Zapp played 17 games, I'd bump that up 2 games.
Really?
Legit.
Okay.
There are 2 games there that I do believe would be you would have a better shot of winning because I just know what Mac Jones is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're coming up in these games against Derek Carr and Josh Allen and Justin Herbert, even Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett's a better quarterback than Mac Jones right now.
Mm-hmm.
Russell Wilson, Pat Mahomes. You're at a significant disadvantage, and your defense is good. It ain't that good. I'm not going to be shocked if New England this year looks a lot like the Jets did last year. The defense is good. Bill's the tactician. He keeps you in a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of games.
Yep.
But I just don't think you're good enough to go over the top. Yep. All right. You want me to know? You want me to explain to you exactly what it is that's driving me crazy today?
Yeah.
Andrew Ayers. Love this guy. Great commenter of the show. Jeremy, would you bet your house on the Jets over the Bills, Bengals, or even the Bills? Did I say I would? Did that ever at any point come out of my mouth?
No.
No, it didn't. No, because I'd be stupid to do that. That would be a stupid thing for someone to do. I'm a professional gambler. No, I wouldn't do that. Nobody with an IQ above salad dressing would do that. What I'm saying is, if you look at the team on paper, 1-53, which is what right now you have, that's a very good team. And the schedule is not as daunting as it's being made out to be. The team plays 10 games in their home stadium this year. There are 5 or 6 teams in the entire league that travel less than they do. And, yeah, you got a veteran quarterback that everybody really wants you to know how happy he is. Last time I saw him on one of these tours, I think he won MVP. And by the way, I'm just going to say this out, and I'm going to say this out loud because my name's on the door and I can do that. There is a hubris with Patriots fans. I cannot wait for you to see what is getting ready to happen to your team. Yeah, you've been the king of the castle for 24 years. It ain't going to go your way, and I hate to break that to you. There is no shot you don't finish last in this division. None. Your schedule's awful.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think Roger Goodell went, this is the year that we can finally stick it to New England. Because somehow they had the easiest schedule in the league for 15 years. You don't now. Those tides, they have turned.
And this is the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, we'll talk about the easiest division
This won't take long.
in all of football to figure out. It's the AFC South coming up next.
ESPN Asheville.
Delays 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between Bavard Road and Airport Road. East of Canton, 40 eastbound Newfound Road, an accident, right lane closed. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound slow near Long Shoals Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Make your summer getaway to a new bed. Shop Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% on top brands, with Queen starting at just $179.99. Plus, save up to $500 on select Tempur-Pedic adjustable mattress sets.
Dr. Rebecca Merrill and her staff at Asheville Smiles are here to get your smile back on track, offering comprehensive dental care from teeth cleaning, fillings, and crowns to smile makeovers with Invisalign or veneers and so much more. Asheville Smiles also has all the up-to-date technology, including same-day crowns, digital impressions, so no more goop, 3D x-rays, and single-tooth anesthetic wands so your entire face doesn't feel numb when you leave. For the highest level of comfort and care, call my dentist, Dr. Rebecca Merrill, at Asheville Smiles.
Mom gives life, love, and so much more. Take time to appreciate your mom this Mother's Day with flowers from Stargazers Designs, fresh-cut bouquets, plants, and more. Call to order early at 828-254-3621 or visit stargazersfloraldesigns.com.
Are you hungry for the inside scoop of women's soccer? I'm Sam Mewis. And I'm Lynn Williams. And we're professional soccer players, best friends, and the hosts of Snacks, the only women's soccer podcast hosted by active players that gets into the most recent news, gossip, and fun of the NWSL, the women's national team, and the delightful, delicious world of snacks. It's a weekly show that features great guests from the world of women's soccer, recaps and previews of the biggest matches, and the two of us hanging out with you. You can listen to Snacks on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
MOM. 3 little letters that hold so much power, importance, and love. At Ingles, we know that being a mom is its own reward, but it's also the toughest job anyone can take on. So to all the moms out there who save the day, on a daily basis, for kids big and small, we at Ingles got your back. Happy Mother's Day, moms. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
The Sportsocracy.
We're just dumping a bag of hammers.
It is ESPN Asheville, and this is the Sportsocracy, giving you our knee-jerk predictions for the 2023 NFL season after last night's schedule release, rolling through every division of the NFL. Let's talk about the AFC South here, because this is the Jacksonville Jaguars and no one else. I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning more games than the rest of the division combined.
The rest of the division wins 14, they win 13 for me.
I got them at 12-5.
I got them at 13-4 in the 2 seed in the AFC.
The Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts finish in a virtual tie, and behind them, both at 4-13. And then the Tennessee Titans are 2-14.
I have the Colts
or
at 6
and 15.
I have the Colts at 6-11, the Titans at 4-13, the Texans at 4-13. The Colts have the second best roster in this division,
and I frankly don't see any way around it.
I see a possibility that Jacksonville's the 1 seed in the AFC. I'm looking at, and I heard Colin Cowherd say this earlier, so I have to give him the credit because he said it out loud before I did. What we said last year about Philadelphia, I'm in the same place with Jacksonville. I don't know who you're supposed to lose to.
Mm-hmm.
I go up and down the schedule, and I feel like I was harder on them even than trying to find losses because at the end of the day, I don't know exactly how good this team is. You play the Chiefs, you play the Bills, you play at the Steelers, the 49ers, the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens. That's the only 7 games I could possibly see you losing. I think every other game is show up and you win.
Yep.
Show up wearing your jersey the correct way and you win.
Mm-hmm.
And in the AFC, you're just one of the only teams that gets that. You catch 6 games against god-awful NFL football teams
mm-hmm.
with mediocre to rookie quarterback play. The defenses are fine, but I don't know that any of them can keep up with you, with Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk and all the other weapons that you have. If I had to bet my house on a team to win their division, it's Jacksonville.
Yes.
I would do it literally before I would do it on Philadelphia, and I guarantee you Calvin Ridley would too.
Mm-hmm.
At his house, see what I did there? Make them laugh.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, it's Jacksonville head and shoulders at the top of the division. The only solace that I could take for any team in the division is that the Houston Texans, with a 4-12 record under my predictions here, you don't look so stupid for giving up that pick to get Will Anderson, because it'll be inside the top 10, but it won't be 2.
Yeah, I have them at 3. My draft order is the Cardinals at 1, the Rams at 2, the Houston Texans at 3, which goes to the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm. I think in my final rundown, they ended up like 7th, 8th, something like that. So to me, that's best case scenario. The rest of you, I'm not sure what you can hope for. We thought Indianapolis was going to be good last year. They weren't.
Indianapolis is going to run the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
I think you see a resurgence from Jonathan Taylor. I have not completely finished my rankings yet, but for fantasy football, but the addition of Anthony Richardson took Jonathan Taylor. He was in like the 4 or 5 range for me. It's bumped him up to at least 3. He may get to 2
mm-hmm.
before it's all said and done.
Who's your number 1?
Well, I guess you're just going to have to wait and find out now, aren't you?
Very interesting.
Give you a hint. They ain't in this division.
And I don't see the Tennessee Titans being very good at all. You just don't have
Tennessee's
weapons.
a hard
you got
team
a rookie
for me.
Quarterback, maybe. You got Ryan Tannehill with those weapons. I don't like it.
Well, Tennessee is the exact opposite of what I've been angry about all day. With the Lions and the Jaguars and the Jets and the Browns and all these teams. The Browns are going brown. I mean, I got to do it the opposite way too. Other than Mike Vrabel, give me a reason to think this Tennessee team is going to be any good. Oh, then I got to be consistent because this roster is bad.
That they are.
Especially on offense.
Yep.
That Tennessee Titan offense could break an NFL record for fewest points scored. That's an expansion level roster. You have Traylon Burks and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get to Houston, and I don't know what I'm supposed to say. That is the definition of an expansion roster. Go back and look at what the Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars rosters looked like the year they came into the league. It's strikingly similar to the Texans. Got a high-end. You got one really high-end lineman, a couple nicely drafted guys that maybe they'll be okay. You got a running back you really like, and a just slew of receivers that are all 3s.
Mm-hmm.
It's an expansion roster. You're gonna win 3, 4, 5 games.
Yep. Now, a division that's not as easy, or I guess it's the West. The AFC West is another one that it's going to be pretty competitive, but I think for only 2 teams.
I mean, on the high side, I've only got 2 that contend for the division. But I do have I have a pretty dedicated take on how the other 2 in the division are going to work too.
And we'll bring that to you next here in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit and miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon, evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Delays 240 west and eastbound on the Captain Jeff Bowen Bridge. 26 westbound stop and go between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow in pockets between Bavard Road and Airport Road. East of Canton, 40 eastbound Newfound Road, an accident, right lane closed. 40 westbound slow between the Smoky Park Highway and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound in Haywood County crawling between NC 209 and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go approaching the Blue Ridge Parkway to Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road southbound slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road north and southbound slow near Long Shoals Road. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's Biggie Bag. When you think Wendy's Biggie Bag, think your go-to meal deal with your choice of JBC, double stack or crispy chicken sandwich, plus 4-piece nugs, junior fries, and a small soft drink. Biggie hits every time. So grab a Biggie Bag today. U.S. price and participation may vary. Third-party delivery pricing may be higher.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
This is Lars.
James from Metallica here.
And this is iHeartRadio.
What's up? This is Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park.
We're the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah. The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.
Running a small business is no small task. At Home Trust Bank, we work hard to prepare businesses for whatever tomorrow may bring. Your dreams are our business, and we have local experts who can help you plan for a successful future. Dependable guidance you need, and service you'll appreciate. At Home Trust Bank, we take your small business banking personally. Visit your local Home Trust branch or anytime at htb.com. Member FDIC.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Did you know Ingles only sells USDA Choice and Prime cuts of meat? Maybe it's time to reward yourself. Our butchers cut all our meat fresh in the store every day. Grass-fed, organic, you name it. Not only that, we'll even cut it to order just the way you like it. And we grind meat fresh in the store multiple times a day. It's all in the bag. That's the best meat in town for the best folks in town. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. NFL schedule release was last night, and so we are making our predictions for the upcoming season way too early. It's been a lot of fun. We've had some heated discussions. Love the back and forth in the chat as well. I just love it when they go hard in the paint at Jeremy Greene and his face turns red and he just started. I mean, just when the mic goes off, it's just cussing.
Because it doesn't matter what I say. No. If I say anything, but the Jets are going to go 4-13 and spend 2 whole games going the wrong direction, I'm a homer. So meanwhile, I'm listening to people tell me how great the New England Patriots are. And you don't see the irony in that. And that's you want to know why Jeremy drinks? That's why.
It's strange. It kind of feels like somebody when they told me that you couldn't win a Super Bowl with a 45-year-old quarterback. I think I am taking a little bit of joy out of the
you
poking.
didn't win a Super Bowl with a 45-year-old quarterback. You won one with a 43-year-old quarterback.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to be a smart arse, then guess what?
Anyhow, we got one division left in football to give you our predictions for, and it is the AFC West. The reigning, defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs. I mean,
I have them winning this division.
I get that we think that the Chargers are going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be a contender, right? Okay. But are there many people that believe they're going to win this division? Because I don't feel like there should be. I mean, you still think they're good, but they're not Chiefs good.
Their roster is. Their roster is that good.
It was last year, though.
And the Chiefs' schedule is just flat out not nice. It's just not nice. They don't play a mediocre quarterback for 2 months. And then they play 2 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think they're going to win the division. I mean, I don't have them as the 1 seed. And I don't really see anyway that I really don't see – I don't see a path the Chiefs win less than 12 games.
I don't either.
But I could see a path that the Chargers win 13.
Possible.
I don't think it's as out of the realm of possibility that the Chargers win this division.
I do, just because I can't see the Chiefs losing more games than the Chargers. I just can't. Is there a path? Maybe. But I thought that was the path last year. I thought the Kansas City Chiefs would take a step back last year after no Tyreek Hill, and it was going to change everything. And this is still going to be a good team, but they're not going to win the division or win a Super Bowl and all. But then they did. And it just proved to us how great of a coach that Andy Reid is and how great Patrick Mahomes is at his job. It doesn't matter who you throw out there. He's still going to be an MVP-level quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's still going to win many regular season games. He's still going to win many postseason games. I have the Chiefs winning this division at...
Oh, for you, 17-0.
15-2.
Yeah,
Come on. I had to give them some losses.
And who are those 2 losses to? Let me guess. They lose in L.A. to the Chargers.
No.
Oh, of course they don't.
No. I had them winning. I had them losing a stupid game to the Miami Dolphins.
I don't necessarily know that's a stupid game.
It is because it's at Arrowhead.
Yeah, I didn't have that.
And then I had them losing, get this, go undefeated on the road, 2 games lost at home. Because I had them losing to the Cincinnati Bengals in Week 17 at home. But other than that, I mean, I feel like this, I don't see their schedule as the daunting task because of who they are. We're at any other team. We're at an average NFL team. Yes, this would be a terrible schedule to have. But I got Patrick Mahomes. I feel like I'm already going to just run over half the schedule.
And look, I'm not trying to say I'm down on Kansas City because I'm really not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at the schedule going, they're going to lose more games than you think.
And they may. And 15-2 is pie in the sky for me. I fully buy in all of that. But the hardest games that you play, you get at home.
The Chiefs, the Jaguars, and the San Francisco 49ers are the only 3 teams in the NFL that are minus money to win their own division. That feels odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Kansas City, best odds in the NFL to win their division. And I don't agree with that. Jacksonville should be minus 1,000 or something just insane to me because literally so much as they show up for 17 games, they're winning their division.
I agree. I think there is a greater chance that they don't win this division compared to the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I got them at 15-2, winning the division. The Chargers are my number 2 team at 12-5. And they just barely make the playoffs at 12-5. That's how good I think the top of the AFC is.
They're my 6th seed. The Browns are my 5, Chargers are my 6, Jets are my 7. Then you get to the other 2.
I was going to say.
And I'm going to be I'm going to try my best to be nice about this because I'm not going to lie. The last 3 hours of my blood pressure is just spiked. And I didn't need a reason to drink tonight, but I'm really glad about 10 of you gave me one. I'm not seeing it with the Denver Broncos. And after the schedule has come out, I see it less. 5 of their first 5 games, 3 of them are at home, and I still see a path that they're 0-5.
There is a path.
I still see a path that they're 0-5.
There is a path to that. I don't think it's a likely path, but there is a path. I got them starting out 2-3.
So yeah, I'm going to assume the Raiders and the Commanders at home.
Yep.
Lose to the Dolphins in Miami, lose to the Bears, lose to the Jets.
Actually, I had them losing. I had them beating the Raiders, and I got them beating the Bears.
In Chicago.
Yep. You lose to the Commanders. You lose to the Miami Heat, or the Miami Heat, the Miami Dolphins.
If they lose to the Miami Heat, something's going horribly wrong.
They would in basketball.
I know they're a physical basketball team, but I don't even know they have enough players to play football.
And the New York Jets. You lose that one, and then you get the Kansas City Chiefs after that. It's not going to go your way.
I mean, you get the Chiefs 2 times in, 17 days? I physically don't see a path. Coming out of the Bills game, I don't see how Denver has anything left to play for. If you won every toss-up game in this part of your schedule, you're 4-6 at best.
Overall record, how you got them finishing?
I have Denver at 6-11.
Same.
I have Denver at 6-11, and I think next year they're looking to get out of Russell Wilson. I have them in the hunt for a quarterback. You're going to have some impediments. But I genuinely think that that Denver's got a really great shell of a roster from about 10 to 45. But you're just missing big pieces. I don't see a legit pass rusher. I obviously don't like your quarterback. And I don't even think Sean Payton can turn this around in how difficult the AFC is. If they were in the NFC, completely different story. I think you could find a way to go 9-8 and probably pull out a wild card berth. In the AFC, there are 10 teams that I legit think could win a Super Bowl. There are a lot of things that have to go some of their way. But the AFC is just a murderer's row. So you get into the Raiders, the Patriots, the Broncos, the Colts, Texans, and Titans. You do not have the roster that the other 10 teams in this conference do. You just don't. And it's not. You can call me being a hater. You can say whatever you want to. I'm really to the point I don't care. You just don't. And then you get to the Raiders, and I actually think I like the Raiders better than – I know I like the Raiders better than the Broncos.
Huh. Okay.
You don't?
No.
Really?
No.
Even with that pass rush?
I'm doing that thing again.
Hey, Raiders fans, that works out nicely for you.
I'm doing that.
You made the playoffs
again.
the last time you did this.
Yeah. I got them at 2-15.
Oh, you're out of your – you were – I'm telling you, Tank was doing drugs at some point today. It's about the 8th thing you said. I'm just like, that made my head hurt.
I don't see it. I don't see – I look at this roster, and I see good players. I see good players on this team. I think your defense is still pretty trash. I mean, outside of Max Crosby and Chandler Jones, there's nothing on this defense that I like.
Well, you also hate Tyree Wilson, so.
Oh, yeah.
That front four is going to be difficult.
Yeah. Sure, okay. And then what?
Well, and that improves everything else.
Secondary's terrible. Your linebackers are not good. That's a big problem in a passing league to have. I mean, you got to hope that Max Crosby and Chandler Jones and Tyree Wilson are getting 800 pressures a game because the back half of that defense is not going to stop anybody, especially in this division.
Well, I mean, the division makes it, well, two of the teams in this division make it much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Raiders at 8-9.
I don't see how.
I like the offense. I like the offense a lot, actually. And I obviously like the defense way better than you do.
Oh, clearly.
I mean, Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are two of the 10 best pass rushers in this league, and you just added probably the second best young pass rusher in the draft to this class to play on the interior.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at that going schematically, that's going to be a pain. I mean, I'm not sitting here telling you that they're great, but I could easily see this. I just drew a comparison in my head. This is New England. The Las Vegas Raiders are the New England Patriots with an easier schedule. I don't think your offense is going to beat anybody. I really like your pass rush. I think you have some problems in the back end. That's the New England Patriots. With a slightly better quarterback, because I do like Jimmy Garoppolo better than Mac Jones.
Way better, with a way worse coach.
I don't disagree with that.
But see, that's where it comes down to me. I look at the Las Vegas Raiders, and I
just despise Josh McDaniels.
I hate him.
I mean, I'm not a fan.
I hate it. He works with Bill, and that's the only instance he works in. He went to Denver. It was terrible. He went running back to Bill. Now he goes to Las Vegas, and nothing he's done since he got there shows me that he's changed any, that he's any good. No. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get what everybody else or what some people see in this team. This is not a good team. They have weapons that I like, but I don't really trust your coaching to pull you through in close games, which you got some on your schedule. But hell, I got you losing to the Bears, and I hate the Bears.
I can't wait for you to have to wear a boo-boo costume. your bear hatred.
Those are the two for me. If you went AFC and NFC, the two teams that people are way higher on than they should be, in my book, it's the Las Vegas Raiders and the Chicago Bears. And nobody really thinks they're going to be contenders. I just think it's funny that y'all think they're going to be just okay. Because I look at these two teams and I go, there's no chance that these two teams aren't picking in the top 5 next year.
Oh, I'd take that bet on both of them. I would actually 100%. You know what? Second board bet. I'll take that bet right now. You seem to really be undervaluing how bad the bottom of the NFC is.
Mm-hmm. Now, go down your schedule for the Las Vegas Raiders and tell me the wins.
2 against Broncos.
Okay.
Because I'm looking at that Broncos line going, if you throw more than 25 times, they may kill Russell Wilson. Let's see. Who did I have beat? I had them beating the Packers because that's in Vegas. I had them beating the Patriots. I had them beat the Giants in Vegas. I had them beat the Vikings. And then I had a weird one. They beat the Colts. They had a weird one because it was a scheduling anomaly for somebody else, but I'm not seeing it on the list right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just curious.
There are certain teams that I just don't have. I have virtually no belief in. So you said, all right, you said yours that you're lower on than other people are, the Bears and the Raiders.
Yep.
I would say mine are the Vikings and the Giants. I am lower on the and a lot of it's the schedule for the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The Vikings, I don't like this roster, and I think you're going to have a really evil regression to the mean. Two teams that you like better than other people.
Who? I would have to say the Detroit Lions. Because I feel
you don't like them better than others, though. I mean, they're just being handed the division.
Yeah, okay. Carolina Panthers. It's got to be one.
You do like them better than others.
And then I guess I would have to go with I don't really have any off-the-wall ones.
I like the Steelers way better than other people do. And I think I like the Bears and the Raiders way better than other people do.
Okay.
And the Bears, I can tell you right now, we're going to spend 4 months of me going, yeah, you're going to keep doubling down.
Baltimore qualifies for that. I mean, I got them at 13 wins, for God's sake.
Yeah, it's a whole mess. That's a whole
right.
Stephen Towle told me that earlier. He's got them at 13 wins, and I went, you are a fan of this team. I understand that totally. Then you told me that, and I went, you need to sit down and let me go get you a cup of coffee because I am startled that you drove over here.
Yeah, so I guess I guess that's the two for me. It would be the Panthers, who I have winning the NFC South at 9-8, and the Baltimore Ravens, who I don't have winning their division but still winning 13 games.
It's good to have a football Friday.
It was.
Just 3 hours of lightly commercialed football.
I enjoy all of the shots being taken at Flostradamus in the chat.
I don't care.
It makes me feel real happy.
I'm going to go drink 100 domestic lights somewhere and forget this day even happened. I don't get ruffled often, but I'm real sick of being told, you're a homer. No, I'm actually not.
It's the way.
No, I am about one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is my 2023 NBA champion Denver Nuggets, which we didn't even get to talk about today.
Nope.
They won by 143, and I didn't even get to talk about it. Bye, Phoenix.
You're in the sports.
That was fun while it lasted, wasn't it?
This is ESPN Asheville. Still not time for basketball.
That's next week.
Yeah, maybe next week. We will be back with you. We will be back with you on Monday at 3:00 right here in the Ingles Studio, as always on ESPN Asheville. Take care.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic time and go 26 westbound at Hendersonville Road, 26 westbound then slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and George's Branch Road. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyman Fuel with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Join your Asheville Symphony and world-renowned banjo player Bela Fleck on Saturday, May 20th for the Asheville Amadeus Festival finale at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. You'll hear Fleck's own Imposter Concerto for banjo, music from West Side Story, the iconic Jazzy Caravan, and more. Saturday, May 20th at 8 p.m. at the Thomas Wolfe Auditorium. Tickets at AshevilleSymphony.org at 828-254-7046 or at the Harrah's Cherokee Center Asheville box office.
Hey, did you know nacho fries are back at Taco Bell? But they're not going to hang around forever, so don't wait. Or you might miss out on these hot, crisp fries covered in all those bold Mexican spices with delicious nacho cheese sauce. Or wait and just settle for flavorless fries. Regular, bland, spiceless, flavorless, flimsy, non-nacho fries. Just an absolute bummer of a fry.
Nacho fries are back. Get them today, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
The Sportsocracy.
You are a regular nuclear meltdown. You better cool off.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Pockets of slow-moving thunderstorms throughout this Mom's Day weekend. Hit and miss storms drifting southeast early tonight. Low 60 degrees. The humidity's made a bit of a surge back into our forecast here for Mother's Day weekend. We're in the mid-70s Saturday with afternoon storms and late afternoon, evening storms on Sunday with a high near 80 degrees. Scattered thunderstorms Monday and a high of 70. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 26 westbound at Hendersonville Road, 26 westbound then slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and Georges Branch Road. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic stop and go 26 westbound at Hendersonville Road, 26 westbound then slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. Light delays 26 eastbound between Long Shoals Road and Airport Road. 40 westbound slow between the 26-240 split and Georges Branch Road. 40 westbound crawling in Haywood County between NC 209 and US 276. Smoky Park Highway northbound approaching Sand Hill Road is stop and go. Sweeten Creek Road southbound stop and go between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Mills Gap Road. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? Need Indeed. Their hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates in one place. Sponsor a job and immediately get a short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hear new music first on your free iHeartRadio app.
Hey y'all, this is Måneskin.
Hey, what's up? This is Fall Out Boy.
What's up? This is Mark Hoppus from Blink-182.
It's iHeartRadio.
The free iHeartRadio app is where the biggest stars in the world connect with you. Download it today.